Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon from every time zone, from every country, from every spooky region across the nether, whatever. It is Toast to Toast AM, special Ghost to Ghost edition with my hostess with the ghostest. Welcome here,
Well,
Dave.
Tarnation. Surely you know there's no Dave here. Only shooting common, the wildest mummy west of the Nile.
It's the classic character shooting comment. I can't believe how you pulled it off. That is so authentic.
It's pretty crazy. I even made the scarab bolo tie and everything.
Wow.
I spent quite a bit of time studying the old serials to get it just right. Yeah.
That's pretty good because there weren't a lot of like high res, shots like they were used
No,
to.
it's old black and white stuff. But
Yeah, no, that's amazing. You look great.
yeah, and the old pulp comic one's a little too elaborate to pull off, so I had to go with
Right. Well,
Boris
wasn't meant to
Karloff
be.
version, but it's all right. But hey,
Woo!
shooting common,
Woo!
fighting desperados from Alexandria to Luxor. Yeah, and I don't think you're allowed to use the word spooky when you're wearing that outfit.
Yeah, no, it's so as always, we at my household, my whole household, minus the pets, we go to the Halloween parties. So my costume for the year is typically part of a couple costume. Last year we were Joker and Harley.
Yeah.
And this year the family we're doing a bit of a Wizard of Oz theme.
Nice.
So I am Shanna's going as
You're
Scarecrow. Indeed. And I am the lion, and we'll see what happens with the boy.
There you go.
So this is supposed to be lion.
I'm surprised you didn't go with the Tin Man.
Well,
because
I'm I'm allergic to silver.
That's right. Paul, it has been a minute.
It has been a minute. We have not been toast to toasting as much as we would like to. So you know what? First of all, we should be cheers. Cheers to Halloween, cheers to Ghost, and cheers to Toast to Toast back on the air.
Costume, we're gonna see. All right.
The fine folks at YouTube have let us back on the air.
Hooray.
Woo.
Yep. Turns out I can.
Those long time Toast to Toast viewers may recall that there were some hiccups a couple episodes ago.
Don't even have to be that long. Yeah. Coast to coast, your toast.
That's true. Well, anyway, we managed to win that one by default.
Two sweetest words in the English language.
That's right. Technically correct.
Default.
So we won our appeal and we're back on the air. So good news. We'll see how tonight goes. Those who don't know, this is a show where we cover the old classic radio show Toast to Toast AM, and we have fun along with you. Welcome here, everyone. We're so glad you are back. It's not so much us being back. We are so glad that you are back, that you found your way, that you've been waiting, and you held out for us. You waited for us like we were in prison, and we appreciate you.
I was in prison.
We've got a few episodes. We can't just count all the episodes where you've been in prison.
No.
With that virtual backgrounds, they're amazing.
Yeah. They do it with AI, I hear.
That's right. Very good. But as you know, Dave, things are, it doesn't matter whether there's a show or not a show.
Yeah.
The bills keep accumulating.
They do. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm hoping, Dave, that you have managed to find us a premium sponsor for a premium price for our back to on the air show tonight.
Paul, do I have a sponsor? I have to get the old the old spectacles.
That's not accurate to the old shooting
No,
common.
but I want to be able to read the wonderful
Fair
copy
enough.
that our sponsors provide.
I
They're
also
paying top dollar for
lions
this,
with
Paul.
glasses aren't really a thing either. So off we go.
Well, you know, but it probably would be if they had better benefits.
It's true.
Paul, I really am tremendously excited to talk about this week's sponsor. As we've alluded to, due to circumstances beyond our control, we unfortunately fallen a little behind on the streaming front. And as you are well aware, Paul, this has caused some intense separation anxiety for all of our handsome, charming co-hosts. I suspect it caused intense separation, depression, and lethargy among the legions and legions and legions of Toast to Toast fans who had to face the hard, bitter truth of how empty their lives are without us. Calamity and woe, Paul. But don't worry, Paul. Every cloud has a silver lining. The absence of content has left various entities and organizations positively queuing up for the opportunity to sponsor the only stream on YouTube. Thanks to this cavalcade of corporate greed, I was able to cherry pick, Paul, the perfect people to sponsor tonight's show. Between you and me, they've been wanting to sponsor the stream for some time now, but previously I had some concerns that their brand didn't really fit the tone of Toast to Toast. You know, it didn't really, it felt maybe didn't quite line up with the vibe we were going for. But you know what? I couldn't have been more wrong. In today's ever-shifting world, Paul, of innovation and change, where AI, quantum computing, and blurry global power structures make certainty nearly impossible, our sponsor is the perfect way to ensure, absolutely ensure, that you leave a lasting impression in the hearts and minds of people far and wide. If you want your neighbors to remember your name for millennia, there is no better way to do it than with a really magnificent tomb. That's right, Paul, tombs. A tomb is the perfect way to ensure that your name will be carried forward for generations. The dedicated artisans and laborers at tombs will work hand in hand with you to make sure your tomb is a bespoke testament to your magnificence. For the budget-conscious consumer, they offer marble mausoleums that serve as a wonderful centerpiece for any graveyard, cemetery, or necropolis. You can choose to downgrade the solid gold door to a brass or copper option, and your descendants will probably have it paid off in barely a generation or two. For the more discerning customer who wants to really make an impression on the plebeian masses, they offer a wide variety of resting places sure to awe the unwashed masses with grandeur and style. Corinthian columns, they've got them from top to bottom. Golden filigree, I'm sure you'll agree that their selection can't be beat. Heroic statues, please call them and choose any you like from their massive collection. They guarantee you'll be satisfied. Why, Paul, in over 5,000 years of service, they haven't had a single customer return to complain. Not one. Who else can make a boast like that? Nobody. And that's not all, Paul. Tombs has arranged a very special offer for the viewers of this stream in honor of our return to YouTube. To be honest, we were talking before and they saw my costume and they decided to have a little fun. Ooh. So any viewer who calls Tombs in the next decade and orders a pyramid as a final resting place can use the promo code Toast to Toast, that's TOST, the number 2, TOST, when ordering said pyramid, which come in step, great, or sloped varieties. And you will receive, at absolutely no extra charge or cost, 3 free pit traps, a pressure plate mounted poison dart launcher, and a horrible curse placed on any grave robbers. Yes, you heard right. All of that extra protection, typically only reserved for the largest rubies, sapphires, and golden idols, can be placed to keep your bones and teeth secure until they can be safely displayed in a museum for future generations. Amazing, Paul. Unbelievable. So do not walk. Run to your local monument to the underworld today and order yourself a massive, majestic tomb. You'll be glad you did. Or at least you will be glad you did until the time comes to actually use it, at which time you'll stop being glad about anything. Tombs.
Tombs. You know what? I think this is cheers. Of all the things we've had water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've had
liquid ice,
pants.
Paul. We had liquid ice.
We had liquid ice. We had pants.
Yeah.
I think this is the one thing that truly everyone could potentially, everyone in our audience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean that in organized religion.
Mm,
Mm.
I feel like that's actually their association with tombs, frankly.
Well, there is some crossover. That Venn diagram has, you know.
Oh, funny. All right. Well, thank you to Tombs. Thank you for the sponsorship. And yeah, we got a super chat here, Dave.
Oh my goodness, already.
We do from the Kanoth.
You're gonna
So
have to
not
read
only
the last.
this while the sponsors are nice and good, we also thank you so much to everyone who's willing to support the show with the super chat.
Mm-hmm.
The Kanoth wants to know how many sips until the mummy wrap gets soaked, dissolve, and tear. Glad you're all back though.
I do feel like this isn't going to
Mm,
make it through to the end of the night.
it's
There's
sort
going
of
to
like
be some kind of
how many
yeah
licks in a Tootsie Roll pop.
to the center of the Tootsie
Yep,
Roll. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And Jay Victor, thank you so much for the super chat, Jay Victor. Even an empty tomb has been known to make quite the splash. Indeed.
I see what he did there. Uh-huh.
If only someone's savior had been put in a tomb in the first place, that would have been
Whoa.
helpful.
Ah, shots fired. Am I right?
Exactly. So, Dave,
Yeah.
the other thing going on. So we've got the Art Bell show now. I don't
Mhm.
know. Did we explain that the Art Bell Ghost to Ghost episodes?
We have not explained the nature of the Ghost to Ghost
Okay,
episodes.
so we have special Ghost to Ghost episodes, which we will have in a second. But we also have
As everyone can
Dave
see
up
by
in
looking.
the up in the corner over there.
Yeah,
We got the trivia night.
it's trivia night.
So it's my understanding that you've prepared, lovingly prepared,
Absolutely.
with your mummy hands,
With my mummy hands. Yeah.
some trivia questions
Yes. Ghost
for us.
related. Ghost related. These are ghosts in pop culture. This is pop culture ghost trivia night.
Ghosts in pop culture.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So, and once again, we will be offering up the winner of tonight's trivia contest will be eligible to win one of our, or not just eligible, you will win
You will.
one of our Toasted Toast tumblers to join the
That's
Tumbler Club.
beautiful.
Someone, Dave, has
Yeah.
thought that we should put together a montage of the Tumbler Club winners, a la like in Running Man, where they had the various
Ooh,
winners.
that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think we should work on that. But that's a project that we can't work on right while the show's on. But that
Yeah, I
sounds
think
fun.
we should work on that.
Mm. So anyway, I'm
Yeah.
gonna start the.
Well, we got to explain what Ghost to Ghost is first.
No, we're doing trivia first.
Oh, we're doing a trivia before we.
First
Okay.
trivia question, and then we'll explain the Ghost to
I
Ghost.
get it. I thought you were going to start the show. Sorry.
We have 2 seconds. Answer with the numbers. Put your number down. Dave's gonna read
Oh
the
yeah, right.
questions.
Trivia. It's multiple choice. Answer 1, 2, 3, or 4. Just put the number and nothing else. Hey, Paul. In The Sixth Sense, who shoots Bruce Willis at the beginning of the movie? Is it
Uh-oh.
Mark Wahlberg, Kevin Bacon, Haley Joel Osment, or Donnie Wahlberg? 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Damn.
I know, right? You've seen it.
Uh,
You've seen Sixth Sense. You
I've
should
seen
know.
it like multiple times even, but not in a long time. Oh cow. All right, I think I know. We'll
You
see.
think you know? All right.
I think
We're
I
gonna see.
know.
We're gonna see if Paul is in contention tonight.
I'm not putting my answer in the chat. I don't want to, ruin it.
Don't want to sway it.
Don't want to sway the answer. So I think it was Donnie Wahlberg. I think
It was Donnie Wahlberg.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have if you'd have made me pull that out of thin air.
There.
I'd have been
no
I'd have been
clue.
here all night long. Yeah. Ooh. Well done, everybody, on getting
A lot
the
of people
answer
got
right.
that one. A lot of people got that one. Everybody loves their Donnie Wahlberg.
Everyone loves their Donnie Wahlberg. All right. Well, congratulations, everyone. So you got the hang of it. That's the first question. How many questions do we have, Dave?
8 questions tonight.
8 questions in total. So that you got 7
number.
more to be in contention.
Mm-hmm.
And we will come back to that. So what we do is we put up the trivia clock timer. As you can see, it is a lovely beverage.
It is a lovely beverage.
And then wait. So, Dave, we are now. Wow, we're being very efficient.
I know where's Shannon tonight? Usually she's bitching at us 40 minutes in to start the freaking show, and now she's not even here. We're like, well, to be fair though, we still got to describe what Ghost to Ghost is. Let's not go
crazy, but yes,
we'll tap the brakes there, Turbo. We're not ready to pull onto the freeway just yet.
So the Art Bell show was as for those who are unfamiliar, it was every single night from midnight until 4 a.m. There was the Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell. It has now moved on to other hosts, and it's not as fun anymore. But the original had Art Bell, and they would talk about all manner of things that you might have seen on the X-Files. So it was conspiracy theories, it was cryptoids, it was you name the thing, vampires, time travelers, aliens, conspiracy theories, Bible codes, all the things.
All the things.
So at some point someone decided that it was a clever naming thing to say Ghost to Ghost instead of Coast to Coast. What kind of lame ass people would name their just change the way the rhyming works?
Art Bell, that's who.
Yeah, or us.
We're in good company.
That's right. Anyway, so it started out just once a year, but actually Ghost to Ghost in later years became like a week long. It's like people have their birthday week. Some of those people, you know, the people.
Yeah.
Some of the people just, it's my birthday week, so I'm doing cool things every night.
Yeah.
That was kind of what Ghost to Ghost later on became.
But at the start, it was Halloween. It was only Halloween.
It's just only Halloween. We are currently, the year we're doing is 1998.
1998.
Which was one of the years where they were planning to do multiple nights.
Yes.
We will get to that in a second. But what happens is all the lines are reserved for people to call in with their ghost stories.
Yeah.
Stories of the paranormal.
Oh, I think we missed the super chat, Paul.
Oh no, Dave, did we miss the super chat?
I think we missed the super chat from Timothy Harmon.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
well, let's let absolutely, you're right.
Yeah.
Timothy Harmon.
Timothy Harmon writes, I'm going to be cremated and my ashes thrown in Mel's hole, the original, not the human face seal inhabited one in Basque Country, which is, I mean, that hole ain't right. That's not a good hole.
No.
That's a good call, Timothy. It's a good call. You're probably going to have to make some kind of deal with Mel's wife who actually owns the land. He was just leasing it.
The trouble is, Timothy, you have to be okay with potentially coming back to life. Because I'm not sure just cremating your body spares you from the resurrection that dog faced.
I mean, there's a lot we don't know.
Probably don't know. And I feel like that dog, I have no, I have no factual knowledge. I feel like that resurrected dog probably wasn't, it was probably like a monkey's paw situation. That resurrected dog.
Yeah, it probably wasn't right.
It probably wasn't right. It was not monkey's paw. Like it was more of a Pet Cemetery situation.
Like Pet Cemetery, kind of exactly. Yeah. Everybody would be like, there's something wrong with that dog.
Exactly. So Timothy, dog. We look forward to resurrected burnt Timothy giving us super chats in the future someday.
Probably evil.
Far in the future, probably the year 2121. Long live Timothy. All right. Thank you for the super chat, Timothy. So anyway, Ghost to Ghost, calling with the ghost stories, paranormal. It was all supposed to be. Art wanted you to be, in earnest. He wanted these to be the real stories.
Real deal ghost stories. Yeah.
I feel like, and I haven't previewed this one in detail. I feel like the Ghost to Ghost nights were easier to get people telling stories they believed personally were true than on like Time Traveler Night or Area 51 employee night or whatever, right?
Should have been a werewolf for me. Like I could have like for
That's not comic accurate, Dave.
That's not shooting common.
Yeah.
That'd be like, I don't know. There's some funny lycanthrope Egyptian pharaoh.
That's right. Yeah. I actually was staring at you like, where did your beard go? That's impressive.
Just tucked up in there. It's really
impressive. Oh, you just did some tucking. I get you. All right. Fair enough.
Yep. Nip and tuck.
We have another a $20 super chat, Dave,
Oh my goodness.
from
From
Webb. My Uncle Ernie was a huge fan of Coast to Coast. I was excited to tell him about your show next time I saw him, but he sadly passed away. Oh no, last month due to a sudden stroke. I'm so sorry to hear, Webb.
Yeah.
Could we have
Heart
a special toast to toast for my Uncle Ernie? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Cheers
Get the good stuff.
to Uncle Ernie.
Here's
Got the
to
good
Uncle
stuff.
Ernie, a fellow fan of Art Bell and lover of his show. Uncle Ernie.
Cheers, Uncle Ernie.
Mm,
And thank you so much, Webb, for sharing that with us. We appreciate that so much.
we do. Absolutely.
I sometimes, one of the things I do on the YouTube is I sometimes am a host on The Line. There's a channel called The Line. They have call-in shows,
Mhm.
and I had never hosted with Aaron Adair before, who I was not super familiar with, but he's actually written a few books on topics that are fall in line with, so it's like books on paranormal and books on cryptoids and things like that.
Okay.
Um, and so Aaron, I come to find out, watches this show
Oh,
sometimes.
well, there you go.
So then I felt a little bit sheepish and squeamish. I'm like, oh, you're an actual expert with a
Yeah.
PhD and stuff. And
Stuff.
Dave and I shooting
Listen
from
to
the
these
hip.
bozos get drunk and prattle
Yep.
on. Paul.
So Aaron, if you're in the chat tonight, cheers to you. I had a great time hosting with you, and I hope we will do more.
I have a special treat to show you after the next trivia question. We're going to save it.
Fair enough.
I got
All
a
right.
special present.
Well, but should we get to have we, oh no, so the other interesting, yeah, see that we aren't going to get to the Thanksgiving normal.
Yeah, see, this is
So the other weird phenomenon that Dave and I discovered was 2 years ago we covered the 1996 Ghost to Ghost. Last year we covered the 1997 Ghost to Ghost. We've come to learn there were earlier ones. Maybe
I think
we
it
will
started in 93.
maybe we'll go back in time next time, but we just kind of were kind of in our own way just thinking, well, you increment the year and that's the one you do.
Yeah.
Come to find out that the 1998 one was from October 31st. Fair enough. Of
Halloween.
1998. But I was like, Dave, didn't we cover the October 30th 1998 show last week? Last time we were on. And sure enough, we vaguely recalled that in our state that we forgot didn't really notice that they were saying, well, normally Art was saying normally we do Ghost to Ghost tonight.
Yeah.
But we're interrupting Ghost to Ghost.
Preempting. Yes.
Preempting Ghost to Ghost to now
the beginning of the
what even were we covering? What was even the topic?
It was about where they had received signals, possibly intelligently sent signals from a neighboring star. Some radio telescope had picked it up, and it was was the breaking news thing. And it was we're going to start this second because there was like 5 episodes in a row about it, and then we never got back to it.
Right. I remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what we're doing now is we're now getting the Ghost to Ghost show that became preempted.
Yes.
So just interestingly, we're going. It's the very next day. So there may well be references to if Art may talk about, hey, what happened last night. You guys will know. Indeed. All right. So should we jump right in?
Now it's time to start.
Okay, time to start. Art Bell, Ghost to Ghost, 1998.
You want to stay on this ride? You better have a strong heart. As my partner and I sat waiting for a call, I began to tell her the story that I'd seen on TV. But for some unknown reason, I couldn't remember the name of the hotel. At that moment, we got an emergency call. We ran the call, brought the patient to the hospital. The whole time I'm trying to remember the name of that doggone hotel. Well, we arrive at the hospital and wheel the patient inside. As I'm giving my report to the nurse in the emergency room, I just happen to glance behind the desk, and hanging on the wall is a calendar. And the full-color, large picture on the calendar is, you guessed it, the Hotel del Coronado. Well, I tend to pay attention to these little things, and took this as an invitation from Kate to visit her hotel. So I reserved one of their smallest, cheapest rooms And the next time I had a 4-day weekend, I packed up my convertible, drove down the coast from San Francisco to San Diego, arrived at the hotel, went up to the desk to check in, and the clerk says, "Oh, I'm sorry, all of the small cheap rooms like the one you had reserved are booked up." Let me see. Oh, we do have...
Are you following what's happening here?
Not really. No. Is it the
Okay.
hotel all booked up?
Okay.
Sort of.
Maybe there'll be something happen. Okay, we'll get something here.
Have this suite with a balcony overlooking the courtyard in the old section of the hotel. Will that be all right? He said, "I'll give it to you for the same price as the small, cheap, cheesy room you had reserved." Naturally, I say okay, and I'm beginning to think this is going to be a very interesting stay. So, up I go, took a bubble bath, drank a beer out of the room bar. Shouldn't do that, by the way, they're terribly expensive. Jumped on the bed, as is my habit anytime I stay in an expensive hotel. I took a nap and got dressed for dinner. Went down to the bar for a cocktail. The bartender brought all of my drinks. Had dinner in one of the restaurants, and when I asked for my check, the waiter told me that a gentleman who had been seated across the room had paid the check. The rest of the visit was uneventful, no apparitions, no funky stuff, until the stay at the hotel never showed up on my credit card bill. Now, I'm a relatively honest person, and...
Wait. Is a ghost paying his bill?
Apparently, I mean,
A ghost is ordering him drinks and dinner, and they're just putting the hotels. Yeah, just put it on the ghost.
yeah.
Okay, this is the best ghost I've ever heard of, by the way.
Yeah. Where do I find one of these?
Yeah.
Under normal circumstances, I probably would have called the Hotel del Coronado, told them about their oversight. However, when viewed with everything else that occurred, the calendar, the upgrade, the free drinks, the free dinner, it was rather apparent to me that I had indeed been a guest, Kate's guest, at the Hotel del Coronado. She is a fine hostess, and I hope to return one of these days. And I have, of course, many more like this. And if any of you have a particularly good ghost
That was the worst
story, we're going to
story I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, they didn't even ever say it was like I feel like we're missing something. There must have been.
Yeah,
Is this like a famous ghost?
Maybe, I don't know. Does the hotel just call people every now and then and like, "Oh, it's the ghost. Come stay here." It's the easiest, cheapest ghost, and yeah, we comped a guy like 3, Manhattans and a Caesar salad.
And a
no one was using the nice room anyway, so we just put him in there. Yeah. Oh, it was the
I
ghost.
don't. Is it just that seems like a ghost-free ghost story? And Art started the show with it. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, but hey, if you know you got him, throw the weak one out first.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Then people will be like, you'll hear a sort of a middling ghost story, but you're like, that was a lot scarier than that free cocktail
True.
story.
True. Setting the bar low, yeah. Because if you tell the best, you're right. If you tell the best one up front, everything's gonna seem terrible by comparison. So yeah.
Exactly. Right.
Zappa fan, if you can invent a time machine back to 1998, yes, you should call in.
Yeah. In fact, you could even wait for time. You could call in twice there on Ghost to Ghost and on one of the time traveler lines.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to do 2 things. One, we are going to tell ghost stories from those of you who call on the call-in lines. And we are going to also invite you, rather than sending in a fax with your ghost story, if you have a particularly good one, send me a fax.
Oh, I was gonna say he's ruining the facts. If we'd have had the Art sends a fax thing.
Yeah, if we were doing trivia
with your phone number, and I will call you. Open. So wherever you are in the world, it doesn't matter where you are in the world.
That's a good offer.
Mm-hmm.
So if you write a compelling, rather than having people wait on the line for hours and hours, fax in your ghost story. If we like it, we'll call you. That's a good deal.
Yeah, and then it's on our dime. Look at
that.
If
you have a ghost story, and I do have one sent to me.
I see by the clock on the wall, Dave.
It is trivia o'clock.
Let's get that. Let's get that rolling.
Way through. So once again, everybody, multiple choice. Just type 1, 2, 3, or 4. I think we had a couple people join us who missed the first one, but no worries. 8 questions. There's still lots of time to get in there, play some trivia with us.
Exactly. These are ghost in pop culture
Yeah.
themed questions.
Mm-hmm.
And we have like 5 seconds to kill now.
Yeah. You watching Penguin?
I am. I love it.
Yeah. Man, is it good. All right, Paul. What
Yes,
is
Dave.
the name of the ghostly bartender in the classic horror movie The Shining? Is it Todd Blankenship? Is it Sam? Is it Marvin? Or is it Lloyd? Lloyd.
Boy. I don't know. This one's not. I don't got this one.
You're not a big Shining fan?
No, I saw it one time, and I'm not sure I saw all of it. I did see the follow-up, Doctor Sleep.
Ooh.
Was he in Doctor Sleep?
Yes, he is, but in that one, and he's played by Jack Nicholson. Because he goes in and it's his dad serving drinks to him. But I can't remember if they name him in the
Right, yeah.
in Doctor Sleep. They definitely do in The Shining.
Play it again, Sam. I don't know.
A lot of people agreed with you, but it is in fact Lloyd.
Lloyd. Ooh, that was a good split. Oh, so this opens the door for future questions, because this pretty even split.
Mm-hmm.
No one thought it was Todd Blankenship.
No one thought it was Todd. No one thought it was Todd Blankenship. Well,
Oh well.
Deep thoughts, but Jack Handy.
All right.
Yes, you're right, Bishachi. That wasn't actually Jack Nicholson in Doctor Sleep, but it's supposed to be Jack Nicholson. It's supposed to be Anyways,
that makes more sense, because I saw it and I don't remember seeing Jack Nicholson. So okay, I was questioning my sanity there.
Check out this cooking present that I got.
Oh my goodness! What would Jesus stew?
What would Jesus stew? It's my new mixing spoon.
Probably lamb.
I mean, I do like lamb. All right,
off we go. Let's
go.
do some more. Just got distracted for a second. Art Bell.
Hereby from Belgium. I've got another one from South Africa. All wines, all night, all ghost stories. Here we go.
Oh.
First time caller line, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Carrie calling from Eugene, Oregon.
Hello, Kay. How are you? You're going to have to get good and close to the phone because you're not too loud.
How's this?
That's better.
All right. Well, my boyfriend's brother, he moved into this house in Providence, Rhode Island. And come to find out, it used to be a funeral home. And, they have the places, in the basement where, they burn the bodies and did all that crazy stuff.
Cremation.
Yes.
Crazy
and,
stuff.
Yeah, funeral homes are known for that. But wait, a funeral home got converted into a house?
I mean, I could see that, especially some of the older. I've seen some funeral homes that were built in old houses.
Yeah, I just would have expected it to be turned into maybe another building or another kind of business or something. But all right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a big pizza oven in the basement. That's what you're saying.
That's not what they're saying.
Now he feels like there's a ghost there. Things will be missing, things you don't misplace, like toothpaste, cutting board, just gone.
Gone.
And
I've misplaced toothpaste.
Cutting boards?
Not cutting boards per se.
One time, his roommate, they were just sitting there drinking coffee. His roommate went into his room because he finished his cup, and he came back out, and it was completely filled, hot. Jason didn't get it for him or anything. And it wasn't even made right how he likes it. And he says sometimes, a door will slam.
Also, it was full of blood.
What's that?
Also, it was full of blood.
So, did she say it was the way he likes it, or was not?
No, it wasn't the way he liked it.
So
someone else
the ghost
they like it. Yeah.
The ghost is putting in
with 3 sugars
and oat milk or something.
Yeah, he's one of those.
um. So ghosts. These are pretty great ghosts. We have the one guy who's just comping rooms.
Yeah.
One ghost. This other ghost is delivering coffee and cleaning up toothpaste.
Yeah, but also you're taking your cutting boards. I mean, a good cutting board.
That's true. That's
Not
worth
like
a lot.
expensive, but they're not cheap. You know
I
what
know,
I mean?
and I've had my cutting board so long. I feel like I have an emotional attachment to it.
Yeah, if it was just gone, you'd be
That's
mad.
true.
Right?
That's
You'd
true.
be mad at that ghost.
Yeah, you're right. A cup of ill-prepared coffee isn't gonna.
Or $2 tube of toothpaste.
Yeah.
Not gonna.
Yeah.
One time he actually had to leave because he was so scared because there was like rubbing all on the walls and clanging noises.
You know, let me tell you a little story back now.
Okay.
I saw a movie.
Yeah. Okay, so Art, it's just straight up. Yeah. I got a better story. It's the guy at the party who's always got the better story that yours had.
Or is he just like, okay, clearly I have to teach you people what a ghost story is.
Maybe. Although he started with the one about the ghost-free
He
story.
chose to read that. That
About
was
the time.
him.
Maybe Art people just know you're a celebrity and let you stay free at places. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. I feel like I'm going with Art's being. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chats. Is Art trying to teach the young lady something, or
Just
is he just the jerk at the party who's got a?
Yeah.
Oh, you broke one leg. Let me tell you the time I broke both legs.
yeah, cutting boards.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing.
The other night, I can't recall the name of it, unfortunately. Now a million people will send it to me, but it was about a man who went to work in a morgue. And he was a guard in the morgue.
Mm-hmm.
And he would have his little guard desk, and he'd have his little, guards have keys, and they have to make the rounds and turn the key so that the owner knows they really made their assigned rounds at night. And he had a desk and a workstation when he wasn't having to make his rounds. And
so if you may ask yourself, Dave, hey, did Paul fix whatever it is that's making the clicky sounds?
I'm just gonna go ahead and guess no.
And the answer is no.
No.
We need to make a note. We need to do if we do the show more often, we can
make a note. Fix clickiness.
Fix the clicky sounds.
I do like how condescending. Just overall, he was a guard. He had his little guard desk to go around. They got keys. They got to put in stuff. Those things.
I don't know if they eat crackers. I don't know. I don't want to know.
Maybe guards see ghosts. I don't want to know.
Morgue. And he was a guard in the morgue.
Okay, let me try again.
Try one more time, Paul. While you're doing that, once again,
we also need to do the show more often, so I remember what the solution to the clicky problem is. We've been joined by ghosts.
Yeah, we do.
Though, Dave.
Have his little guard desk, and he'd have his little, guards have keys, and they have to make the rounds and turn the key so that the owner knows they really made their assigned rounds at night. And he had a desk and a workstation when he wasn't having to make his rounds. And there was.
Sorry?
I don't think Art knows what keys do. Got their keys. So they won't know he made the rounds. Wait, what? What? Anyways.
There's this red light behind him. And in the morgue, they would have the bodies all lined up on these cots covered with sheets in what's called a cold room.
Mm-hmm.
But above each body, there was a pull cord. A cord you could pull.
Just in case.
Just in case. And should somebody pull that cord, it would obviously mean to the guy sitting at the desk that one of the bodies in the morgue had reanimated. Not unheard of. And I'm not going to tell you any more than that, but I will tell you it went.
If I woke up in, I assume he's talking about those like drawers where they put the bodies or whatever.
Yeah.
I could the pull cord maybe just not open the drawer?
I mean, well, you don't want to, Paul.
Oh, I guess you don't want the. Maybe you're right. Maybe there's a good reason you don't want the reanimated corpse.
Yeah.
To just have free reign.
Yeah.
They might help themselves to coffee.
Exactly. There's some documentaries I should show you on this topic.
All right. Well, we have a super chat, Dave.
We do. Mark Fernkoff, member for 19 months. Been around a good long while, old Mark.
He
Yes.
says,
You
go
go
ahead.
for it, Paul.
All right. Yes. Do the show more often. Toast to Toast AM every Friday. Well, we could start with getting back to every second Friday, I suppose.
That would be a wonderful achievement instead of every second month.
But
Yeah.
we appreciate your enthusiasm,
Absolutely.
and we will share that with our sponsors who can maybe help make that happen.
We'll see what we can do. I feel like that's on me.
Off.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah, it's pretty weird. And
Well-
is there who would you go about calling? Say if you wanted to have a specialist come in there and see, what was going on. Any ideas?
Oh, yes. I have many people. In fact, the guest I'm going to have on this coming Monday night might be exactly the person you're looking for.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because, they
There
have...
you go.
His name now, isn't
That's a radio host. It's like,
That's
you
right.
want to know, you need to tune in Monday night
That's right.
to the guest I have that's going
For
to
someone who doesn't live anywhere near you, but
Yeah.
is very much would say that they're qualified to come and do something about your thing.
Mm-hmm. Let me
Let
just
me-
plug myself real quick.
Let me ask you, caller, what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
That boyfriend of yours, what kind of job he has? Yeah, all right.
What kind of job you have?
Oh yeah, we can definitely do something about that. Oh yeah,
is Jerome Clark, and he wrote a book called Unexplained: Strange Sightings, Incredible Occurrences, and Puzzling Physical Phenomena. Now, he'll be here Monday night, Tuesday morning next week.
Okay.
Somebody like that is the kind of person you need. Okay?
Definitely. Thanks so much for your help.
You bet. Take care, and good luck. Wildcard line, you're...
that doesn't help her at all.
Yeah, no, thank you for your help. Help
You know what
me
you need?
by plugging your radio show on Monday. Thank you.
You know about plumbers, right? You should get someone get someone who's a plumber. I'm gonna have a plumber on my show. He's not gonna come and work on your place, but if you listen,
you should call back on.
you can tell what a plumber sounds like, and
Yeah.
then call one on your own, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Very helpful.
We're on the air.
Yes, Art, this is Greg from El Cajon, California.
Hi, Greg.
How are you, Art?
Just fine.
I have a good one for you.
Okay?
Do I have a...
Again, I cannot iterate this enough. Just in general life, don't hype up your story before you tell the story.
Under promise, over deliver, you're
Under
saying?
promise, over deliver on anecdotes.
Got it.
I got a hilarious story, and sometimes the story's like, "Oh, that's an amusing story," and I would have enjoyed it if you introduced it as an amusing story. But now you said it was hilarious.
It's not hilarious.
All
It's
right,
just music.
let's see what the guy from Art House, California. I've never heard of this.
That
place,
happened to you a lot? The amusing story part?
where people would tell me stories that were merely amusing when they introduced them as hilarious.
I was thinking more the other way around.
I don't hype up my own stories. I assume that everyone's going to hate all of my stories.
Okay. And then you're
And-
pleasantly surprised when they're not.
And on occasion, 1 out of 10 clicks in some way.
There you go. You should make note of those ones.
If
Circle back.
maybe Paul, you could bring some to this show every once in a while.
There you go. Apparently it's from El Cajon.
Yeah, Al Capone,
El Capone, California.
Al Capone, California, and I've never heard of it. I lived in California. I've never heard of it. It's a big place.
About 4 or
That's what I
5
hear.
minutes?
You do?
Excellent. My wife's mother had died back in February, actually on February 13th of this year. And prior to...
Something ruined someone's Valentine's Day, Dave. It's a bad,
Yeah.
it's just shame.
Well, or make it.
It gets you out of having the pressure of coming up with something romantic.
I don't want to presume.
her death, my wife and children and I had stayed with her overnight in that house on many occasions.
Sure.
It's just a normal home, nothing strange, very comfortable there, no problems whatsoever.
You would just be visiting her and stay the night.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Taking up the house at the time of her death went into probate. And, of course, my wife and her siblings not wanting to leave the house empty, of course, because of vandals and that sort of thing. My wife and our 2 daughters and our unborn son moved into that empty house on March 1st of this year.
Makes sense.
Shortly after, my family and I took occupancy of the home. Certain events started to take place.
Like what?
Well, just to paraphrase you also, at this time, on around March 10th, we adopted a German Shepherd Beagle mix that...
A German Shepherd Beagle?
Yeah, that's a...
Oh my goodness, I got a Beagle right here. If you cross that with a German Shepherd, I don't know what I would do.
probably a slightly more laid back dog, because I can't imagine it would be less laid back than a beagle.
No, but imagine a really dumb German Shepherd.
I can't imagine that.
A loud, dumb German. So you're assuming that you're going to get the best traits from both animals.
You just get a really aggressive beagle.
That's
really,
right.
really dumb German Shepherd.
Yeah. All right, we missed them. So we got some.
We got some super
chats.
chats. That's
Got
mean.
Got this first one from Quasimodo.
Georgia. Humpty Dumpty, best costumes ever. All right. Clearly, we don't have any fans of the silver age of cinema, the golden age of radio. This is clearly shooting common. The rootinest, shootinest mummy. Yeah. All
Absolutely. Cost just accurate to the T. It's scary. It's scary.
Yeah.
Like you must have found some great reference photos. And then I'm the Cowardly Lion and Jar Jar, I will admit, are maybe, close enough.
Well, Jar Jar's not fuzzy.
He's not actually, it's true. He's fuzzy, he's scaly.
He's scaly.
Big ears.
Yeah.
I did actually think there's a few comments that maybe I'm an Ewok. That's actually a little closer. I can kind of see that. I
don't think it's fun to make fun of your height like that, though.
Well,
that's not nice.
The thing is, if I was an Ewok, I'm a naked Ewok. So does that make me like a sexy Ewok?
Yes.
Ewok with no clothes.
Like a sexy nurse or a sexy cop, You're
right,
a sexy Ewok.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's a Halloween costume.
Timothy Harmon.
Let me tell you something, Paul. If Wicked had an ass like yours, he wouldn't wear pants either. That's a fact. I'll stand by it.
That's
just a fact.
Sorry, Warwick Davis, if you're watching.
I'm not. That's a fact.
Timothy Harmon says Paul has great Star Wars stories.
He's got pretty good ones.
They're
amusing. I wouldn't say they're hilarious, but
they're not hilarious. I refuse to hype up my own stories. I'm definitely not doing that. SJL with a super chat writes, "My beagle isn't dumb, but she is single-minded. Food." That is true. Beagles are that's pretty beagle. Yes, I guess not all. My beagle is very pretty.
Yeah. But it is also not the most intelligent dog I've ever seen.
She's not the smartest.
Got a good heart.
Good heart.
Yeah.
Good heart.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, bless.
Oh, bless.
Bless her little pea-picking heart.
That's right. Oh, Dave.
Oh.
I see by the clock on the wall.
Yes.
Hold on, we'll do this one last super chat.
Okay.
It's actually it's from Shannon Q.
Yes.
Shannon Q wants to know what happens if Dave has to sneeze?
Well,
I feel like none of us would even have to know.
I don't. Yeah. I'll just mute the mic
real
quick, and no one has to know what's going on inside here. That's it.
And it'll all be contained.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having a little accident when you're in a scuba suit. That's
right. Don't ask them. No.
But yours and the manta rays.
All right. Trivia time. The question's served up right here, hot and ready, Dave.
Oh, right we go. Which original Ghostbuster appeared in the 2016 movie Ghostbusters Afterlife as a ghoulish cash grab despite passing away in 2014? Was it Harold Ramis, Ernie Hudson, Dan Aykroyd, or Bill Murray? I feel like a lot of people are going to get this one.
I feel like, yes, there's especially,
Peeping into
I
my
feel
eyes.
like I can rule out the ones that are still alive.
Yeah. Which is 3 of those.
So,
Yeah.
have you, I'm very
I feel
excited
bad
about
about
this.
the Lloyd one.
I'm very excited about this Saturday night movie.
I yeah, it could be really good.
Yeah. All right. We got everyone's got their answers in. I feel like there's a definitely a trend in the answers that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom, 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 boom.
Ernie Hudson is still alive.
Yes, he is.
So
Bless
Yep.
his little heart.
bless his little heart. So that was question number 3. Well done, everyone. I think most people chimed in on that one. Good job.
These bandages are really itchy, and I feel like this costume isn't going to make it through the whole night.
So we just got 3 more hours, Dave.
Just 3 more hours, eh? Perfect.
Yep. You're good.
So good.
It made my wife feel a lot better, of course, because I worked late at night, sometimes till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Like me.
Yeah, there you go. And it gave her.
Art is definitely all about himself tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. You've said a thing that I'm going to make this about me for a second.
Yep.
Peace of mind because the house was out in the country. Okay.
Like me.
Yes, sir. And within the first 2 weeks that we took up residence in my wife's deceased mother's home, my wife would relate to me from time to time that she felt as she was being watched intensely. I myself, at the time, being a complete skeptic.
Whoops.
Did you make an error in the trivia question?
I did. The Ghostbusters Afterlife was actually 2021. The 2016 is the Kristen Wiig.
That's very different.
Harold Ramis did die in 2014, so that part is still true.
I feel like the COVID years.
Yeah.
To think that something post in the COVID time was in the pre-COVID time. That's a big mistake. That's a bigger mistake than other things.
I stand by it.
Fair enough.
Doubling down.
I feel like in the future that's going to be one of those things that they used to mark time, like for my kids' generations and going forward. It's just oh yeah, it was pre-COVID.
Or it'll be a
post-COVID.
thing that like only people who like really study history will be like, oh yeah, it was a thing, because there's going to be like a nuclear war or something in 5 years, and no one's going to care about.
Right. Right. Well, it turns out the climate fried us all, so we were less concerned about having reduced toilet paper and standing 6 feet apart. Yeah.
Then Skynet. Well,
that's right. That's right. We have AI and climate change now.
Yeah.
This whole standing 6 feet apart is no longer in our cultural.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you work from home? Now the sun murders people. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Dismiss the information as an overactive imagination, which I probably should not have. That was my belief until the evening of March 16th, 1998, when my eyes were widely opened. On that evening, I was having dinner with my wife and children, and my sister-in-law and her 2 children, teenage children, were over to the house for dinner, just a few weeks after moving into the house. Everyone had left, but my wife.
The supposition that this is it's like the once in a blue moon. Shannon's drinking on a Friday. Oh man, and we're missing it on a bingo. It'll probably never happen again. You're not fooling anybody, lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't with the neighbors and put all those boxes of wine in the dumpster.
Yep. It may happen more often than our show. I'll just we'll see.
Yeah, well, eclipses happen more often in our show. That's
Yeah.
not a
That's what I mean. Yeah, we're right at this point. We're a quarterly show.
yeah quarterly. Time for the quarterly toast to toast review. We got fun
And
games for the
we're
whole
literally
family.
going one day at a time, so it's gonna take us
Yeah,
6
absolutely.
lifetimes to get through.
Hoobastank's gonna be here, so stick around. It's gonna be a great show.
Oh, it didn't put up the trivia clock.
Oh, we didn't put the trivia clock.
And I was sitting in a position in the dining room, at the dining room table area, that allowed me to look all the way down the hallway into one of 3 bedrooms, which was my youngest daughter's at the time.
Sure.
At that point, I saw something.
Who's that Art just letting out a deep sigh?
Yes. This is I'm doing a mummy unwrapping.
Uh-oh.
This is it. Forget it. I'm sick of this.
Oh, this is scarier this way.
It's worse. It's horrifying. Look at my hair. Well, there was makeup. The bandages wrapped it all off.
I feel like if you were coming at me in the street,
You'd give me $5 to throw some money at me.
I feel like the other way I wouldn't have been intimidated, but now
Now I look like I've got.
you're
I'm
a handsome man.
from like the early '80s. Yeah.
You may have turned heel, as they say.
Yes. Is that yes? Well done, Paul.
But it's so hard for me to describe. It was an aura of what seemed to be a woman's form, with a lot, to me, of what seemed to be energy around.
In other words, indistinct, kind of a foggy light aura.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And it definitely was. It seemed to be the shape of a woman to me.
Free the beard.
Real story. Yeah, this really hurts. Ow.
Hashtag free the beard.
Hashtag free the beard. Ow, 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 ow. Yeah, he saw an indistinct shape that kind of looked like a woman, maybe, in the fog.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was so motionless and locked into what was happening at the time that I almost lost relative consciousness of what or where I was, except for what was going on in that
Well done. Yeah.
room.
The glass is
My
really
wife was
selling.
sitting over to the right of me and asked me what I had seen, and I described it to her, and she said something to the effect of, "You too?"
You too?
Yeah.
You mean she saw it as well?
No, I mean Bono and the Edge were here.
Yeah. No, that would be a cool story.
That's right.
She had seen and felt things before me, and yet had never, over that period of time, that 2-week period since we'd moved in there.
Can you hang on through the break?
Absolutely, Art.
Stay right where you are. With respect to my story about the hotel bill.
Just let me get right back to my story again, quick.
Right. Yeah. This is about me again. Hold on. We have a super chat here though.
We do.
From Brain Cramp.
Yeah.
Says now Dave looks like he's about to exorcise some demons.
Exercise the demons.
It's not necessarily exorcise the demons.
No, I definitely don't look like that. No.
Gonna
I think we can all agree.
more of a sweat lodge kind of a situation, maybe.
You know.
All right.
Coronado. I just got this.
Oh yeah, so Dave, well, now maybe we're gonna find out what the hell was up with that opening story. Maybe we'll find out.
Hi, Art. My sister-in-law actually works at the Hotel Del Coronado as a concierge. She says the ghost stories are real, and you can even,
Does she
if you
provide
wish,
free champagne?
Okay, so apparently this hotel is. This is apparently information we did not have. Is that this hotel is known, at least in some circles, for having ghosts?
It's a famous haunted hotel. Okay,
fair enough.
Rent. I repeat, you can rent the haunted room. That's from Jeff in Amherst, Ohio. Wonder if that's really true. Thank you, Jeff. And by the way,
I feel like if you know it's the haunted room, they're not going to give it to you for free. Because they know that you will pay money to stay in the haunted room.
Yeah.
For any of you who have
pretend like you don't want the haunted room, and try, hope you look out.
Yeah.
The only room left is the haunted room, and be like, I'll take it, but you better give me a discount for the haunted room because it's bullshit.
Yeah. This is like flexible. This is like per person pricing. We size you up at the front desk. You look like you can afford 300 a night.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Versus 80. Yeah. Everyone's
How they have my picture up beside the register at the all-you-can-eat sushi place.
That's right.
Did that sound like a man who'd had all he could eat?
So I don't know if we're going to talk about sports for a second here. Sorry, everybody. I don't know if other teams have done this, but the Oilers this year have gone to every single game costs an entirely different amount of money.
Okay.
So
depending. Oh, I see. Like for fans to buy tickets.
So fans to buy tickets, so some games are 3 times more expensive than other games, just
Right.
based on
if like
who's
Toronto's
playing,
coming to play or something like that.
who's playing and what night it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to go see the Sharks
if you
on if you want to see the Sharks on a Tuesday, that's going to be a good value.
Super funny. I was going to say, if you want to see the Sharks, it's going to be as we all just bag on the Sharks.
Versus like if it's going to be Leafs on or Flames, frankly, it doesn't matter.
Like
Flames on a Saturday, that's going to be an expensive ticket.
Because you're going to have
I feel like that's
the trip. Yeah.
While I kind of, part of me as a longtime sports fan is like, well, that's not fair. It is actually just interesting to see which games they think are.
Oh my goodness, I'm about to get drawn into a conversation I shouldn't have online here, Paul.
Uh-oh.
Victoria, you're absolutely right. They are. And so Wednesday night, Paul, the Saskatoon Blades, I was told about this, so they have the $5 game night. You can get a ticket for $5.
Okay.
And if they win, you get another free ticket, which happened this last week. So for $5, you get tickets to 2 Blades games. How do you like that? And they're actually pretty good this year.
Are they still playing in what I would call Sask Place?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway,
I was not trying to make a general sports. It was more just I'm feeling like this hotel is definitely doing some surge pricing based on how much you believe in ghosts.
Yeah, and I imagine probably around Halloween prices go up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ghost stories out there? Just send me a fax.
I would very much like to hear. I'm just going to completely derail the conversation now. I would very much like to hear Shannon's review of Venom 3. I want to hear Shannon's review of Venom 3 because I feel like it's going to be more profanity laden.
It's not going to be good. We were unfortunately we went in with moderate hope, not high hopes,
but
not even hopes, but moderate. The previous 2 were more fun than not, and so yeah. I don't know what's happening over there at the Sony. They should be not allowed to just make any more comic-based movies anymore.
Someone needs to see if they're all right
over at the Sony, because they're unaware of what story is.
It's cry for help of some kind.
They literally think that if you just include characters that are fun,
that's a story in and of itself. There's references to some things.
They're on the screen. What do you want from us? They're on the screen.
Yeah.
Andy Serkis is null.
the super famous Marvel villain that everybody who doesn't read the actual comic books is super familiar with and knows
who was created
about. I just realized I left my phone actually on sound because I just heard a ding, so I'll turn that to silent before somebody.
I had to check this. Apparently Null was created in like 2017, 2018, something like that.
So it's super recent. He's
like, so it's not like a legacy character. We're not talking about beloved, but anyway, no, it's he was on the screen. Sure, you didn't see his face. That's fine. You don't need to see his face. You want him to say words? He was there. He was there.
Yeah. All right. That's it. That's all the pop culture.
I feel like to fully slam the movie in the way it deserves is going to give away spoilers.
Yeah, and we don't want to get into.
And we don't want to be we're not the spoiler channel. So,
but don't see it.
But don't see it.
Do
So
not
so
see
this
it.
is a catch-22 situation because I'm not going to spoil it for you until you see it, but I'm also saying don't see it. So
Don't
that just
see it. Yeah, unless
means
somehow
we're
you're
never.
getting
It
paid.
means we're never. We're never going to talk. We're never going to talk about it.
And tempt me. Tell me how good it is and give me a phone number. And if I am tempted enough, I will call you. And
All I'm saying is that Venom 3 is a good place to hide state secrets.
That's great. That's a great line. I love it. I'm going to use that one. If you've got to hide a body, you can stash it in Venom 3.
No one's going to come looking for it there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh. Woo.
Here's an example, Dave, of
Here's
an example, Dave, of Venom 3 style. This is this line of this what I'm going to say next is in the style of Venom 3.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Dave, it sure is nice that we're an hour and 10 minutes into a YouTube show where we wear costumes and talk about a radio show about ghosts on Halloween. Isn't that great, Dave? How you and I, even though we've been here for an hour and 10 minutes, I'm going to describe the situation that we are in, and we should both know.
I feel scared. Is that a good one? Otherwise, I'm worried the audience won't understand what I'm feeling.
They kept jumping to exposition scenes where clearly everyone in the room knows why they were there. I don't know why. Who are you talking to?
Just gonna go ahead.
There's a literary device you use. Oftentimes, movies include characters who are new to the situation so that there's a reason for people to be explaining shit.
Yeah. Or if it's really good, not just explain the shit and somehow.
But at least if you're gonna explain shit, at least we got a new transfer, new guy here, so he doesn't know how the various things work. No, everyone here has worked here their whole lives.
The new recruit to the mafia, the whatever. So we got to explain.
Yeah. No, they didn't. They.
Oh, you don't open up the door at the end of the hall because that's where, you know.
All right, off we go. That's enough Venom 3.
Get you on the air. My fax number is area code 702-727-8499. If you can't tempt me in one page, you can't do it, so hold it to one page. And now, back to the gentleman who saw the apparition down the hall in the bedroom and then turned to his wife, and his wife saw it too, right, sir?
Yes, she had seen it, but it was at a different time.
And so then what? I mean, did you sit there and compare notes with her, or what?
Well, I had the hair was standing up on the back of my neck, Art.
I'm sure it was.
And I didn't know what to think. I just moved my wife and my children into a house, and I didn't know how long I was going to be there.
Did you think about getting out?
You know, at that point, I really didn't know.
You know what? I actually, it's so easy to say, man, I'd be out of there like a shot. But the fact of the matter is, there are financial considerations. There are physical considerations. You have a wife. You have children. You have a lot of furniture. You've moved into a house. So you don't just immediately make a decision to split.
Let me tell you, the rest of my notes that I have here for you that I compiled today, you're going to think more and more why we didn't actually get out. On or around March 22nd, I was alone in the house.
To be clear, Dave, because there was a break and then Art had to explain his own story in between.
Yeah.
This guy called in. He said it was foggy. I saw something that looked like a female form.
In the fog.
In the fog.
Yeah.
My wife wasn't there, but also at a separate time in the fog.
Yeah.
My wife also saw something that looked like a female form.
It was even better than that because he said, my wife saw it too. And Art's like, your wife turned around and saw the same figure? And he says, no.
No.
Different occasions, he thought maybe he did.
Right. So this is just a common thing that both of us at different times and places have seen the fog form what we thought to be the female form. Something. And therefore...
What's the term for how the human brain, like...
Pareidolia?
Is that what it is? It tries to
Yeah.
see faces and things.
Yeah.
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 Anyways, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
No,
Anyway.
but it is another thing where it's like where you're looking at the clouds and you can
No, it has
say,
everything to do
oh,
with what we're talking about.
that looks like you know, you will say, oh, that looks like a bunny or that looks like a car, right? And it's
the brain tries to find patterns. It tries to find
Yeah.
things in where none
exactly.
exist. Yeah.
But this wasn't even looking at the same cloud and saying, yeah, that looks like a bunny. It's like it's more like, yeah, two people have you ever seen a cloud that looked like a rabbit? I have. Well, okay.
I have. You
Now we
and
must
your wife did too.
so,
Well, then
so now
there
let's
must
call
be-
in about that.
there must be bunny clouds.
Must be
Yeah.
bunny clouds. Why? And Art's response is, why didn't you get your family out of there? Why did you not evacuate immediately when you found out that at separate times
You
you saw the fog swirling away?
in vaguely bunny shapes.
Get out, man!
Well, Paul,
Yes,
don't
Dave?
worry. As I go on to this story, and you see, I saw, you're gonna understand why I didn't. You're gonna be asking that question because I saw clouds in the shape of sheep. I saw clouds that looked like trees. I saw a cloud that looked like a choo-choo train, and you know, it just I didn't get out of there. Didn't move my family.
Well,
Is it
that's
trivia time?
why, and that's Dave. I hate to.
Yeah.
That's why your family's dead.
Oh man. Well,
Tough love.
that's why I had to try and do this mummy rap by myself. Hey,
Tough
Paul,
love.
before casting Michael Keaton, who was Tim Burton's original choice to play bioexorcist Beetlejuice? Was it Vincent Price, Sammy Davis Jr., Paul Rubens, or Milton Berle? Who was
Wow.
Tim Burton's
Okay.
original choice to play Beetlejuice? Before the
I
studio
wanna
said,
say-
no, you can't have that person.
Well, if the studio said no, that was before. That was before one of these people got in a lot of trouble, and I feel like it was later. I think Tim Burton, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I think the answer is obviously Winona Ryder, and I don't see why it's not on here.
Because that's not the
Let's say, oh boy, I feel like Sammy Davis Jr. is the most interesting answer.
Well, Paul, you must be an interesting man because that is.
Oh my goodness, really?
Well, Tim Burton has a wax figure of Sammy Davis Jr. in his house. He is a huge.
That would have been a
fan.
crazy movie.
That would have been a
Sammy Davis
completely
Jr.
different
as
movie.
Beetlejuice.
Very different. And the studio literally was like, no, we're not doing that. So why don't you choose somebody else? Here's another a fun fact I learned when researching this. Was reading up on Beetlejuice. Michael Keaton,
Yes.
filmed all of his scenes in about 10 days because Michael Keaton is on screen for 7.5 minutes in the entire film Beetlejuice. The whatever it is, I think it's 110 minutes or 100 something like that runtime. Yep. He's almost not in the movie at all. And it's like, then when I went back to that, I'm like, yeah, no, that's true. He's really not in that movie at all. So, yep. The movie's named after him, and in 10 days, he's like, well, I'm done. All right, just send me my check. I'll pay later.
I lost
fun
my
facts.
earbud. All right. That is very speaking of movies that were disappointing. So the other day we aired the Paulogia Shannon Q household. We decided, hey, let's rent that Beetlejuice because that's a thing you can rent now.
It is. That's what they say.
And so we put that. We're gonna have a nice evening. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna watch the Beetlejuice, and so there was this started off. This I hope this is. This starts off. There's a dead woman, and she sews herself together for quite a long time.
Staples.
That's how the movie
Staples
starts.
herself back together.
Staples herself back together, and then other things, vague things happen, and then we were both like, "Hey, should we just talk about like life and stuff instead of watching whatever's going on here?" And we're like, "Yeah, let's just instead of this, let's watch nothing." And that's what happened.
Yeah, and then we just had a conversation like people used to do back in the day.
Yep.
Yep.
So maybe it's great. I can't say we gave it a fair chance, but
I've heard it's okay.
yeah.
I kind of did the same as you. I watched like the first like 20 minutes and then I paused it to go. I can't remember what. I had to like. I was cooking supper or something, and then I just never turned it.
Yeah, I
back on.
never hit the play button again. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was kind of it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Fair enough. That happens to a lot of people watching my videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife had left with her sister and my children. They went over visiting for the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was around the noon hour. I was preparing to leave for work.
Oh,
I'd just
trivia.
come out of the restroom that adjoined
Oh, trivia clock. Thank you.
our master
Busy
bedroom.
making more drinks.
Bear in mind,
Yeah, I
our
need
bedroom
to
used
go-
to be my
I need
deceased
to go make
mother-in-law's
another
bedroom.
myself.
Oh,
Do you need to leave to get a?
I didn't bring any bottles of alcohol. I brought
All
two
right, should I
glasses of alcohol, and I
solo
thought
view for a minute? I'll solo
Yeah, you
view for a
solo view
minute.
for a bit. I'm gonna go refill.
In a fairly quick instance, as I looked over my right shoulder, and I can see this as plainly as the
That's a
day
lot of
that,
Rob
in my
Woods.
mind, is the day that I did see it. In just a few seconds' time, I saw my deceased mother-in-law leaning over the dresser area where her dresser used to be in her room. And it appeared as if she was leaning over to place something down.
this time she was of more form.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Shortly thereafter, that situation, Art, an interesting yet strange phenomenon began to occur. My deceased mother-in-law there was a beautiful type plush white carpet, very white carpet in her home.
Mm-hmm.
It was throughout the home. There was no variance throughout any of the rooms whatsoever. And I'm just giving the details so the listeners understand what I'm about.
Thank goodness we live in a world now where people don't put white carpet throughout their homes anymore. That was a mistake. Don't do that. Carpet's just I don't think carpet's a good idea at all. But anyway, carry on.
Say. One morning, I would believe it was the end of March, 1st of April, my wife said, "Honey, come look at this." And I said, "Well, when you walk barefoot on the carpet, Art, it would leave almost a type of imprint of your foot."
I understand exactly what you're saying, yes.
And so we experimented a little bit. This was not my wife's footprint, Art. It wasn't my footprint. And it was much too large to be either of my daughters.
Sure.
And it was Bigfoot, and we shot him. And so now what do? We have a Bigfoot. We have a dead Bigfoot, and whoops.
So we just stood there looking down, and my wife said, "I know it's my mother's. I know it's my mother's footprint, and she lived with her mother until she married me."
Wait, I know it's my mother because the footprint was bigger than any of ours. Okay, I mean that's no problem. Your mother-in-law can have big feet. I feel like that's a very specific thing to know about your mother-in-law. I don't think I could tell you really anything about my partner's mother's feet. I don't I don't yeah, I don't know. That's very specific information to be holding.
Until she was, 19 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
She felt that, also too, from that time on, that the constant set of eyes or being watched was all the more ever present. Our dog, on many occasions, Art, would stand up and stare across the house into our bedroom, whining, staring.
I'm going to ask, it's an embarrassing question. You don't have to answer this, but if it was your wife's mother,
Yes, sir.
haunting the house, present in the house, didn't that kind of take the edge off moments of intimacy for your wife?
Well, at that time,
Look, Arch, that's not the kind of show you run here. People are not calling in to discuss their ghost-laden sex sex patterns. How they're yeah, that's not okay. That's a very personal question that I am not used to from Art. Very good. All right. Although, you know what? I guess that's probably one of the top things you think about. Hey, if you're being haunted by your mother-in-law, doesn't that put a damper Doesn't that put a damper on the? It would. Trust me. I feel like for anyone, yeah, that would definitely put a damper on a lot of things.
Time art, and that is a personal question. My wife.
It depends on the mother-in-law.
I don't think it does. So here's the thing. So it may well for the person for whom it's the mother-in-law, but for the person for whom it's the son or daughter, probably even more so of a mood dampener, shall we say? You know, you know, I don't know how often you've been having the sexual relations with your mom in the room.
I will say never. You know, besides maybe an awkward encounter when I was 17.
Right. Well, and you know,
yeah.
I told you to knock. Why didn't you knock? Yeah, that makes sense. But if you were actively knowing, hey, mom's here.
Yeah. In the old when I was up in the kitchen getting a drink.
Yeah.
The trailing bandages caught on the handle of the fridge door.
Oh no.
So I was like, nope, fuck it. This is all going off.
It's all done.
That's it. So we're done. We're done with the costume. This is a terrible idea.
J. Victor is the super chat.
Yes.
$2 super chat. Mother likes to watch. It's apparently, you never know which way these Art Bell shows are going to turn.
I feel like, Shannon, you should just don't fight the inner child. Go on in there. Give it a squish. Just give him a noogie.
Only about 3 months from delivering our son.
I see. You say no more. That's fine.
Very pregnant.
Otherwise,
oh no, it was fine that mom was there because we weren't having sex anyway. That's what I did.
all good.
All good.
I can imagine there would be a problem.
I can understand what you're saying, and I do agree to that with that.
Mom, if you're listening, you know what I mean.
Okay. In the summer months, another factor started to come into play, and this is one when I was writing it earlier this evening. I guess I'm listing this in as much of a chronological order as I can.
Sure.
I was reluctant to discuss this, and the only reason I am discussing it right now
is because, hey, we've already talking about my mom watching me have sex, so may as well. I guess all the gloves are off at this point. The curtain's been lifted. The kimono is open, as they say.
I guess this time, yeah.
We're oversharing, so here we go.
Yeah.
Is after we'd moved out and we're living where we're living now, I asked my wife if she, I didn't want her to think I was nuts. So I
feel like whatever's going to happen after this is not going to help that situation.
It's not, yeah.
This is almost like starting a story. I'm not racist, but, and then it's going to be clearly something
but
this is not, I'm not crazy, but I feel like is also going to,
Yeah.
asked her, and she looked at me and said, yes, I had to, and this is the next part of the story. At night in my wife and I's bedroom, which of course was my deceased mother-in-law's, at times my vision in the dark, I would lay awake at times and it would start to blur. Eerie, if not demonic type faces would appear in the dark room. They would come, it was very sharp to me, and they would fade out slowly.
That would be enough for me.
And the thing that bothered me about this art was
if you have demon faces, but you call in and start with, sometimes the fog looks like ladies. Sometimes the fog looks like ladies.
Well,
I feel like you
gotta, you want to have that progression, Paul.
Yeah, but this is a call-in show. You gotta start. You gotta grab their attention.
He's lucky Art put him back for the second half.
Right.
Otherwise, we would have just ended with the Cloud Ladies, and that's it.
That's right.
Yeah. That's a good point, J. Victor. That's a good point. You know, I mean,
do we need to read this one? Do we need to read this one out loud?
I
feel like
there's
we'll just
nothing
put it
there
on the
that's gonna
screen. Everyone can
see. I mean, you know,
most people, statistically, most people are watching this subtitled anyway. So, you know,
maybe there's a reason that, you know, you're seeing demon faces, and maybe you got a lot of pent up feeling.
I would agree.
Right?
I would agree that there's
It's not
maybe some psychological,
not good to bottle things in.
some psychological possibilities happening here. Yeah.
That's what we're saying there. Yeah.
Yep.
Which
With
actually
my
will
mother,
segue nicely into the announcement of Paul and I's new channel, which we're launching 2025.
I'm curious
Not
as
on
to
YouTube, though.
I'm curious as to which segment of this you think is worthy of a channel.
It's not going to be on YouTube. We'll just say that. We're partnering with another online platform.
It's the new podcast we're starting up. It's like weird shit that happens to you when you got blue balls is the name of the podcast.
That's the working title.
That's
Just
working
clear,
title.
that's the
We're
working
working
title.
through.
Where, you know,
we have a lot of sponsors. We got a lot of our normal traditional sponsorships are lined right up.
Pants can't wait.
Pants can't wait for the
Get behind this
podcast.
venture.
Weird shit that happens to you when you got blue balls. Hint, it ties in with evidence for the resurrection of Jesus. So that's, you know, fun.
So there's, again, Venn diagrams.
That's right. Venn diagram. It's the perfect demographic storm, as they say.
Yep.
it wasn't that. Obviously, to me, was not my mother-in-law.
Obviously.
Her appearance was not as foreboding as this particular situation. And that's when I started thinking, my God, is there a portal or something else that followed?
That's exactly where I was about to go. We've got to wrap this up, but that's exactly where I was going. Is there a clothesline to this, or is that essentially did you get out of there, or what?
Well, at that point, those things were starting to happen at the end of the summer. There were thumping noises on the wall. Many occasions at the noon hour, almost on certain days, frequently the phone would ring. There would never be anybody there. And the one thing that I would like to say, Artemis,
that these days, that's not a that's not scary at all. That's just goddamn robocallers.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Is probably of some interest to you.
There's actions being taken against my social insurance number. Oh no, the ghost.
A bank I've never had account at needs my social.
Needs my yes. Yeah.
Some wonder.
A package I'm not expecting is held up at customs.
So far, Paul, I'm disappointed
Steve.
with this year's crop of ghost stories.
Yeah, so far.
But
we're spending a little bit. This guy, at least, he's Mel's holding it in terms of, okay, well, Lart's letting him riff, so at least we're escalating the claims.
We've gone on to demon faces, so that's at least something.
Yeah, we went on from.
We had some spectral locomotives and poltergeists.
Yeah,
you know, we had some good ghost stories.
Where are those?
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
We'll keep plowing through.
At this point, if the intrusion, taking that nothing but a appearance by my mother-in-law in the last few recent days to my wife has appeared. There hasn't been anything since we moved to our new home.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. Listen, thank you so very much. There are two things here. One, it's pretty well known, and I can't explain why. Maybe you can. Maybe one of you can. Why a spirit, apparently trapped on Earth, or one that has not yet moved on, remains essentially in the same place, the same house, same geography, the same place. Why? Why? And the second thing that I would draw from that is
not much of a student of human nature if he has to ask that question, because let me tell you, people like ruts. They like, this is just yeah.
But let's just think about this for a second. So that infers at some point that the Earth is
something better.
The Earth is spinning, right? The Earth is spinning, and the planets are rotating around the sun, and the sun is moving.
Yeah.
So whatever these immaterial beings are, if they're truly immaterial beings,
Yeah.
to be able to lock into a specific location, I don't know what that means about their physics or their ability to just move around, but that doesn't seem like it would flow naturally.
Because gravity is actually magic, Paul.
Oh, I see. So gravity works on the paranormal?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we haven't really figured it out.
Oh, I see. No one. I get that on that the call-in show I was mentioning. Sometimes we get that no one knows what gravity is. I'm like, well, I mean, we know some things.
We know some things about it.
So, yeah.
I watched your clip. I think it was you and Shannon, and it was the I can't remember the name of the thing, but it was about, is anything what's really real? I'm trying. Does it ring a bell with you? The trying to define,
like, are we
actually,
are we really in the Matrix kind of a thing?
sort of, or yeah, and it was just having watched it. So I've been on a real quantum physics kick lately.
Oh, I
and
see.
just sort of watched a bunch of stuff about information theory and hologram theory, and which is the idea that's like, well, actually, the entire universe is an illusion. It's a representation of the information that's described on the surface, and what everything we perceive is not actually, nothing's real. Nothing's what we perceive it to be. And it's probably not true, but there is hard math to back this up, right? Where you can go and be like, no, this is actually like this fits. Like, this theory does fit every criteria. But it's also one of those things where it's like, even if it's true, it doesn't really actually kind of matter, because you still
right. Yeah. So if we're all in a if we're all in a simulation, we have no choice but to operate within the parameters of the simulation.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, we're not talking about like a Matrix type simulation where it's a thing where it's just like, no, what you perceive is we are incapable of perceiving reality in the way that it actually is. What we're seeing is and also there's a whole bunch of shit in quantum theory that's just like, oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that like maybe it exists, maybe it doesn't, or exists, but not in our realities, and blah 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 blah. And you get into all kinds of crazy.
I love when callers call in with all those kind of things. None of us are experts, but thanks for wanting to get our weigh in on it. That's great.
Yeah.
It himself.
Oh,
Paul,
Dave,
you know what time it is?
I think it'd be trivia time.
I think it is. It could be trivia time.
It's not peanut butter jelly time. It is trivia time.
No. Are you kidding me? In this economy? No.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Whoa! Check out JD Rockefeller over here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Howard Hughes, enjoy your peanut butter and jelly on your sandwich.
Right. With bread? What the bread?
Yeah.
Can't be opening up 2 jars.
2 jars. Who knows how many spoons?
That's an inside joke for people who, just an inside joke.
Love stand-up comedians from the early 2000s.
Where's our trivia? Oh, I didn't. You know what, Dave?
I was gonna say, is it even going? Or are we?
Did I hit resume play? No, I did not. We're just riffing.
Everyone enjoy.
Now we have
10 seconds of dead air.
6 seconds.
Look, you know what? You don't have to pay anything to watch this stream, so you get.
We're the only thing on YouTube right now.
We're the only thing on YouTube right now. The only stream. Hey, Paul.
Yes.
How many times do you have to say his name into a mirror to summon the Candyman? Is it once for every year you've lived? Is it 6? Is it 5? Or is it 3?
Based on the screen, it looks like 2.6, 3.5,
I know, 2.6,
4.3.
Candyman.
Well, 4.3 is closest to pi. No, 3.4. No, 3.5. No. So let's see. It can't be 3 because that's the Beetlejuice number. They wouldn't have copied the Beetlejuice number, would they? I've never seen the Candyman.
You never seen any of the Candymans, eh? Oh,
good night. I don't know what it was. I got distracted.
I mean, you still got time. You gotta just pick a number.
I feel like it was either once for every year you've lived or number 5. I feel like those are an even number doesn't seem right. There you go.
It was in fact 5. You gotta say.
So people got sucked in by the Beetlejuice conflation.
Yeah.
You did that on purpose when you wrote that question, didn't you?
I did. I'm
You
a
knew that
deviant
people
little
were gonna.
bastard.
What and how does this compare? How many Bloody Marys do we need? How many does that compare?
I think isn't it 3 Bloody Marys for the?
I think it's 3 Bloody Marys. So
Yeah.
you were working against someone who decided against the trope.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well done. Well done, question writer.
We even had specifically talked about Beetlejuice before. I put that
We
in
had
people's heads. I was tricky.
Oh, and
I'm a tricky little.
it just and frankly, it came up organic. I think I brought it up, or maybe you just
We
wanted
had a
me to bring it
Beetlejuice
up.
question. The last trivia question was Beetlejuice.
Oh,
Right?
you made me. You made it happen.
And now
Well
I made
done,
you
Dave.
think you brought it up. See,
I know, right?
You're playing checkers, Paul. You're
I
playing
know,
checkers.
you're playing 4D
and I'm
chess.
playing 4D
Yep.
chess. Yeah,
Amazing.
Me and Elon Musk.
Perfect. All right. Maybe we
hey,
will get before the next trivia question. Let's put up the
give me
timer.
a good fucking ghost story, man.
I
Come
know,
on,
like maybe
come
we
on.
will finish this current ghost story that is going nowhere.
Yeah.
Do you think it might be true that once something has come through or is visible on both sides, depending on how you want to look at it, that in essence a portal has opened, allowing not just the spirit of his mother-in-law, but more to come through? That's worth some thought. On our international line, you are on the air. Good morning to you.
Who in the what now?
So we've all seen Poltergeist art. Moving on.
Yeah, that's right.
Hi, this is Mark from.
At least we have a new caller. At least we're potentially. He's got a weird accent, so we're good.
Yep. He's weird accent.
Auckland,
Matt,
New Zealand.
good ghost name.
Auckland, New Zealand. Yes, sir. Welcome to the program.
Yes, I have a bit of an unusual ghost story to tell.
All right.
I frequently have out-of-body experience.
Neil, this has been made clear.
Yeah.
If you are watching this right now and you are not wearing some kind of Halloween costume, I don't know. I thought we made this clear. Go to your closet and put on something cool.
I'm gonna beg to disagree with you there, Paul. Because if you look as good as Neil the 604 Atheist looks, I think the best costume.
Okay. So if you are, and this is rarefied air. If you are as good looking or better as Neil 605, 604,
he's basically got a Tarzan costume ready to go at all times. Just stripped down to the tighty whities, the Hanes, the Fruit of the Looms. You know.
Yes, Quasimodo. Yes, naked counts. Naked. I feel like naked is a costume. That's your Adam / Eve.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I feel like that counts.
Anyone who thinks it doesn't has never been to like a college Halloween costume party.
Right. What we're not gonna accept is whatever you wore to work today. It's got to be it's got to be better and more interesting than what you wore to work today. If you work, this is not. We're not. You know.
We're just what you wear on an average day. If this was
we're not
Tuesday, March the 8th, you know,
right? Yeah.
What you wore that day then isn't gonna cut it as a Halloween.
It's got to be cooler than that.
Yeah,
and I think we can all agree that regardless
of
of what your body, how you feel about it, naked is cooler than that. Definitely, and Dave's got his hockey
I've already
jersey.
mostly stripped off all of the all of my costume because it was very annoying to wear.
I now have removed my hood.
I hoped.
Yep, because Shannon's gone to bed. Anyway, but Neil, so for you, Neil or cooler, and that's rarefied air.
Yeah.
Neil or cooler, you're exempt from this. All the rest of you, normal people like me, Dave obviously qualifies, but if you're normal like me,
I don't.
You gotta.
Oh, I've got a goddamn Flash Gordon poster on my wall. Nobody thinks I'm cool.
No, I meant look. You look cool though.
I mean,
your personality maybe can't cash the check.
No.
But people walking down the street, they're like, I would like to know that guy. They're wrong. But that's what they think.
Dude, is that what they say?
That's what they say. That's the 411 on Dave. Yep.
Yeah.
And one time.
We got clickies.
Frick! That's it. We're never doing this show again.
Well, that's almost true.
That
almost became a thing that happened. But
yeah. Not going to say there was a time Paul and I were spitballing ideas for different streams, but there was
Yeah.
there was a time. Yeah. I also love the Flash Gordon poster.
Something has come through or is visible on both sides, depending on how you want to look at it, that in essence, a portal has opened, allowing not just the spirit of his mother-in-law, but more to come through. That's worth some thought. On our international line, you are on the air. Good morning to you.
Hi, this is Mark from Auckland, New Zealand.
Auckland, New Zealand. Yes, sir. Welcome to the program.
Yes, I have a bit of an unusual ghost.
I was going to give this guy a fair shake to actually listen, but sure, let's interrupt him again.
Just interrupt him right away. This is an expensive call in 1998.
Auckland, New Zealand, absolutely. It's
to Nevada. That this would have been this is
also
paying significant dollars per minute. Yeah.
Also, presumably, like in the mid morning.
In New Zealand, actually,
Yeah.
or even noon. Like how many hours off is I don't even know. Now we're
well, it depends on where Art is, because it was 14 hours ahead of San
Art's
Francisco.
basically just outside of Las Vegas. Like Art's
roughly this.
Yeah.
So 13 hours ahead. So if Art was running at midnight, yeah, this guy's like
early
afternoon. Afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And so he wasn't in a ghost story mood. He was.
Well,
no.
I mean, I've seen Wellington Paranormal. They're always in a ghost story mood there.
Fair enough.
Story to tell.
All right.
I frequently have out-of-body experiences, and one time I managed to catch a glimpse of my own ghost.
What? What?
Yes.
Now, if anything would stop me from having OBEs, assuming I could have them at will, that would do it. You were
OBE, I'm assuming out of body experience.
Out of body experience, yeah.
There you go.
Own ghost.
Yes, well, people who frequently have out-of-body experiences will know that you can sometimes get stuck in your corporeal body or physical body. This frequently happens to me, and this one time...
I am stuck in my own fucking body every second of every day.
Yeah, it's sad, actually.
Yeah.
A part of me separated while...
Was who?
I said, not me.
Now you're traveling. You're.
So I got stuck in somebody else's body, but that's a story for our.
Hey-o!
Coitus.
My vision remained in my body, my physical body, and I saw this watery.
Oh my! In other words, you saw your spiritual self in a visual way, with the vision from your own body leaving your body?
Yeah, I saw it walking across the room. Well, I saw myself walking across the room. It was sort of like a third person perspective.
If I ever am out of body experience and get to see myself doing things, I would hope that it'd be more interesting than, well, I walked across the room. Neat.
But it probably wouldn't be. I mean,
frankly, I guess based on my day-to-day lifestyle, that is about the most interesting thing that happens.
Probably you were sitting at your desk doing work.
Was I walking a dog? Because that's the big outing.
Got to take out the recycling. So, just gonna spiritually do that with my ghosts.
Did that stop you from doing that?
And somebody put a black shirt in with the whites. That's not gonna have to sort that out.
Solve that problem by not having whites.
Oh, Matthew K. Don't spoilers. We're saving that for the new show.
I've had more hair-raising experiences than that. That was an unusual though. But, that hasn't stopped me.
It would have stopped me cold. All right, my friend, thank you. That's from New Zealand. That would have stopped me cold.
Well, we spent,
we're not paying $18 a minute to talk more about this.
No, but
moving on.
We spent 12 minutes of showtime on Mr. The Fog looked like a lady.
Yeah, that's because he was calling from the contiguous USA, so significantly more cost effective.
Also, I'm contemplating putting my hood back on because apparently the hood did some weird shit to my hair.
I mean, your hair looks good. You look good.
To have the physical vision remain in a somewhat active mind, and to see your spirit leave your own body, and to realize that you're essentially dead, spiritless body.
Paul,
Yes, Dave.
Paul, give me your best lion impression. Come on. No. From Wizard of Oz.
Put him up.
There you go. Come on,
Come on.
Good job. Well done. Thank you.
Is observing its own spirit leaving. No, thank you. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, where are you?
I'm in Austin.
Austin, Texas, all right?
This story is kind of secondhand because it's something my mother told me happened before I was born.
It's all right. What is your...
Perfect. So
This is now we're into the good stuff. Yes.
now we're into the good stuff. This is my mom told me shit.
Yeah, before I was born. This is
Name?
what I want to do.
Sarah.
Sarah. Okay, Sarah.
Okay. She was living in Salem, Massachusetts with my father.
Good start.
Yep.
Salem, Massachusetts. Witch
Love it.
Trials.
Yep.
Agatha All Along is a great show. Carry on.
We're building up. This is it.
Yep.
They'd gotten married recently.
Right.
And in the house they were living, I think it was probably an old house, these things started happening. First, the cats started acting weird.
Things.
Like they'd be
Maybe some stuff.
I'm into this story now, Paul.
running across the room, and all of a sudden they'd stop like there was a wall in front of them.
Yes, I've seen cats do that many times. They see things we don't.
Yep. And once or twice she said she found them in shut dresser drawers.
Cats?
Yes. They'd have gotten inside the drawer and it was shut behind them.
Yeah.
So absolutely, our cat does that all the time.
Yeah.
Our cat is in drawers of shut cupboards all the time because she figures out how to climb up the back, and she squeezes her head. She's a bit of a runt cat, and she squeezes through the back. And so this happens. This is not.
She said, yeah.
If you go to my TikTok, Paulogia on TikTok, I have videos of my cat doing this stuff. So yeah.
She was alone in the apartment. And once the bathroom door was stuck, and she wasn't sure why it was stuck. She kept trying to get it open. My father wasn't home, so she had to get a neighbor to help her open it. And it took him a lot of work to get it open. And when they got it open, it was like 20 degrees colder in the bathroom than it had been anywhere else in the house.
Really?
Yes. And then my father would start, he would say he felt a hand on the back of his neck, but my mother was across the room or in a different room and there was no one else in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing that happened, my mom said this was the last thing that happened, and after that nothing ever happened. My father came in the room where she was, and he was like all white and shaking, and told her that he had been walking up the stairs and he saw this woman walking down the stairs towards him, and that she was wearing like old-fashioned clothes. That was all they told me. I didn't get any more detail than that.
Yes.
She was walking towards him, and then when they passed each other on the stairs, he felt like totally cold all the way through, and then she vanished, and then they never saw anything else again.
I sure do appreciate the story.
And I thought you'd want to hear it.
Now, you're right. Thank you. I wonder what it is about...
Paul,
Dave.
that was not a great ghost story.
No.
That was the best ghost story we've heard tonight so far.
Okay.
Hopefully this is kind of, at least this is like, okay, this sounds like real ghosts. There's a woman in old-fashioned clothes walking down the stairs and disappears. This is a real ghost. This is a legitimate ghost. All right.
Right. As opposed to someone comped. The hotel forgot to bill me for my room. Therefore,
I was half asleep and saw a demon face. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
It's called dreams. We all have them. Move the fuck on.
presence of an entity that causes...
This is it. This is the break point. This is where I feel it. This is where we're getting into the
From
good
here
story.
on in, real ghost stories.
So I feel like let's just do it. We got a little time left. Let's do the trivia question right now.
Oh, you want to just... Oh, so before we jump into the real...
Before we jump into the good stories, because you know what, Paul?
There are no rules.
Exactly. The rules are whatever we decide they are. So, yeah. There's a lot of...
Who produces this show?
Which ghostly horror movie begins with the opening lines of the BBC radio program Listen with Mother which aired from 1950 until 1982? Is it The Others? Is it The Conjuring? Is it The Poltergeist, or is it Ghosts of Mars? John Carpenter's Ghosts of Mars. Should I
Ghostly horror
tell?
movie begins with opening lines of the BBC radio program "Listen with Mother," which aired from.
Yeah.
Should I give
a clue?
I have no
The
fucking
specific
idea.
lines are you sitting comfortably?
Ooh.
Then we'll begin. That is the opening line from Listening Mother.
Okay, well, I don't think I've seen any of these movies.
Ooh,
So
some of those are good movies.
I know.
You've never seen Poltergeist?
So no, I recently saw Poltergeist.
So it's The Others. The Others with Nicole Kidman.
So yeah, so I was like, I don't think it was that. All right.
Mhm.
Wow, so this could be very competitive, Dave, because the percentages have been low. So you have either been writing much better questions than normal,
Or
where
just
the
nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
plurality of the answers are more plausible,
Mhm.
or this is a category of information that me and the audience don't know anything about.
So I had to look up a lot of these because I fucking hate horror movies. Just gonna throw that out there. I'm a big baby when it comes to horror movies. I hate scary movies.
Oh, there have been some really good.
There's horror movies I enjoy and go, but just as a general rule, not a fan.
Right. So
yeah.
Recently I've seen movies called Afraid, which is an AI movie. Long Legs. Are you interested in seeing the Long Legs?
Yeah.
What else? So Late Night with the Devil. Very cool movie. Did you see that one?
What's his name? Damashian. Yeah, where he's the host. That was fantastic. I loved it. The whole retro vibe and everything about it. I actually thought it a little. I wasn't a huge fan of the ending because I would have rather it been a little more ambiguous.
I actually agree with you. I can confirm.
But it was still very good, and it was low budget, but it was really good, and he was good. Like I enjoyed that movie a lot. Yeah.
The boy, as we call him here, the boy who lives with Shannon and I, he is very much into the there's a movie with there's a third one with a clown. What's the
Terrifier?
Terrifier. There's a Terrifier 3.
I fucking hate those and everything about them.
Yeah. So that one's not as good.
Yeah. Where I don't find them scary. I just it's just schlock.
Yeah,
body.
no, I like a good one. The one with
so here's an example for you. I've seen 7.
Yes.
Exactly one time, and I will never watch that movie again.
Fair enough.
It's really well made, and I fucking hate that movie. I hate that movie.
Okay, it's just too.
Yeah.
The
Evil Dead movies. I've seen all the Evil Dead movies many times, and those are great. And
right.
I hate the things where it's like, no, feels almost like too. I don't like the over the top. It's fine when it's not over the top. Then I'm like, no, I don't.
So I prefer my horror to be psychological. I prefer like the brain tease.
More Mike Flanagan type of kind of thing. The Fall of the House of the Usher.
I love House of Usher. All those the various House ofs. I do find the American Horror Stories to be pretty great.
Find them a little hit.
So recently, there's a movie called Blink Twice, which is I consider that to be a bit of a psychological horror.
I'm not familiar with that movie even at all.
And then Speak No Evil with McAvoy.
No, I do not, Matthew. Yeah, that's it. Speak No Evil. Okay, yeah.
So I also don't
don't like real jump scary like the Conjurings or the
Paranormal. Yeah, no, I'm not into like
jump scare. I'm just like it's not. I don't. It's not my thing. I don't enjoy them.
But a good one.
People do. And cool. I got nothing against you for if that's what you're into. Awesome. But me, I'm just not.
Okay. Not into so Dave, you are I was probing those questions mainly to ask where you because horror is different, right?
Yeah.
And so the best horror film I saw this year, frankly, was probably Alien Romulus.
But okay, which I don't know if a lot of people would call that a horror film, but I could see why you would.
But it is. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen Alien Romulus yet. Yeah,
it is straight up body horror is where people are doing shit to you.
Okay, if you've seen The Thing, right?
Yeah,
the John Carpenter Thing.
Yeah.
which is one of
So
my favorite
similar,
movies. I love
similar
The
to
Thing.
that, or like The Fly, or like Human Centipede, like is like movies where people.
Okay, yeah,
No, but I'm just saying like that genre of things where like weird shit is happening to your body.
yes, yeah. I mean, I
Uh,
really like Lovecraftian horror, which oftentimes that there's a big cross in those Venn diagrams of like body
Yeah.
horror and
Anyway.
Lovecraftian horror. Yeah.
uh,
I love horror of the unknowable, the like you cannot conceive of or deal with, like whatever this thing is, whatever the horror, the entity, it's like this is just something beyond human understanding or experience.
oh, okay.
And I very much enjoy that kind of idea.
I tend to not enjoy that as much because for me, I feel like I've generally ruled out like the supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it's like a supernatural thing was dealing with me, that doesn't affect me as much as, oh, this was a real situation that I could have been put in, and I don't
Yeah.
know how I would have fared any better than, the people in the movie.
Yeah. See, and those are the movies that I hate.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And I probably hate them because, like, sort of like Seven, where I'm like, no, some motherfucker could really do this.
Yeah.
And that's what I hate about it, where I'm like, no, this is actually like people do this kind of ridiculous shit, and I don't like that. That's why I like a crazy cosmic horror.
So that's great. This is excellent. So
Everything.
this achieved exactly that. Was I was put the parameters around what you consider to be like the horror that you will either accept or not. I think we all have like the stuff that we with it. Even people who love horror, I feel like there's always a parameter around like which kind they are cool with and which not. So
Yeah, right. And so and it's not to me that it's like I don't think that it's like, well, this isn't good or legitimate. I'm just like, no, this upsets me. It upsets me to watch this. I do not enjoy, like it. So that's
let's say
more
even so the Matt Reeves Batman.
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
The Matt Reeves Batman is very much so like, oh, that's Seven meets Batman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Like they're putting the police, the corrupt policeman in like a cage with rats that are gonna eat their face. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they don't, and like one guy's gonna blow your head off if you don't answer my riddles.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, in a way, that's a horror film.
Oh my God! Someone mentioned Skinamarink. No, that's no good. But yes, yeah, you could make the argument. I feel you're almost more thriller or kind of.
But that one didn't affect you as much as Seven did for whatever reason.
No, and probably because of the quality of the actors, Morgan Freeman and some of the stuff. Like Seven's just emotionally upsetting, right? Like the same.
Yeah.
To be fair, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a movie that I think is an absolute masterpiece that I will probably never watch again. But it's like it upsets me. It emotionally upsets me. I get too because it's so good and the character's so good, I cannot help but become emotionally, empathically, like I start feeling what these people are feeling, and it's like it very much upsets me. And I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like how this makes me feel. I don't like imagining what these people are in or go,
So interesting. So you and I have the very opposite. We have the opposite taste. I want to be in a situation. I want my horror to put me in a situation I could be in, and you don't want your horror to put you in a situation you could be in.
Because then I literally start imagining myself in this, and I can very much feel it, and I'm like, nope.
Well, that's the for me that is the stirring effect is the nope I can't
and I get that, and it's there. I just I don't want that.
Like House of Usher, there's a nightclub scene, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So the nightclub scene in House of Usher, you didn't like imagine like shit I could have been in.
No, I didn't really, because I never go to nightclubs and don't. And also because Mike Flanagan's so like there's just so much going on. And then any of his stuff I can be like there's all kinds of layers and things, and I just enjoy his work so much on an intellectual level, right? Like you can pick apart and be like, what are you saying? What's this a commentary on? Like Midnight Mass is a perfect example. We've talked about it on this stream numerous times.
Midnight Mass.
I mean, the
Right.
monster, like it's the horror parts of Midnight Mass is like it's a joke.
No, I
they're-
agree, because I at no point in Midnight Mass was I ever like, well, I could have I would have fell for that, because I wouldn't have. Like, that's just not my
But-
worldview.
But what you probably can identify with is the very manipulative, what a lot of people call it, like the church lady. I can't remember the character's name. You know, like the bad church lady, the controlling, the emotionally, where it's like, no, I literally know people like this. Like this
Yeah.
is very grounded.
Oh
but-
yeah, no, I believe that. I believe I lived in communities where I'm like, yeah, I could see this kind of weird. This,
you know, and it's like it's more to me the scene where she poisons the dog is in a lot of way more upsetting and real than like whatever crazy monster stuff.
fair
Because
enough.
it's like,
Fair enough.
no, this is a very real human thing that could and does happen. You know, shit like this happens, and this is a person who would do this kind of thing and get away with it.
So
but-
do you also like? Do you also
Mhm.
dislike awkward comedy?
I mean, I do. I love Ricky Gervais and like the British.
Okay,
Office.
so
I love
because that awkward comedy, I feel like, is in the same family of feelings.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
But,
I can't.
okay.
I can't justify it, but it's like that's
No,
just
fair enough.
where
No,
I'm
we
at.
like what we like. We're not in control of that. All right. So
Yes, I did see Psycho
we-
Gorman, Vicente, and I loved it. Yeah.
we have now psychoanalyzed ourselves. So let's
Temperatures
we-
drop.
yeah,
And
yeah.
by the way, I might add, measurably drop. I have interviewed any number of ghost researchers, and it's about half and half. Some say they're unable to measure the temperature drop, but they can certainly feel it. The other half say they have measured.
okay. Fuck.
Yeah.
There's a temperature drop. We can't measure it, but it's there. I feel like temperature is one of those things we as a species have pretty much nailed.
And I feel if you watch like a Ghost Hunter shows or any of those, you know, various shows, like they'll have like actual thermometer stuff because that is
Yeah.
a real, you know, that's always the thing. It's like, well, Ghost is like, wow,
Yeah.
did they go? Although I
to-
just to skip back a beat, Paul, I don't feel like either of us are big horror movie. Like
No. I am a baby when it
you
comes
and
to-
I have watched many a movie together. We enjoy.
I am not-
Neither of
no,
us
no.
have ever been like, well, let's throw on.
But around this time of year,
Nightmare, yeah.
when I'm privately watching things, that tends like sort of from September to November. I
Yeah.
am that sucker that's kind of like I'm just drawn to, which is why I rattled off like the biggest horror movies of the year this year. I've kind of watched this month because for some reason, and similarly, I will probably next month binge whatever new season of
Now, a good slasher movie.
American
oh man,
Horror
I'll
Story.
watch those all
See,
day.
and I don't care about slot. Don't whatever. This don't care.
Like they can be entertaining. Like a good one's just
They can be
entertaining.
like
Yeah.
but as
They
a
won't-
genre, I'm not
they
getting
won't
excited.
upset me or won't stick with me for, you know, weeks of like, no, this upsets me. I really genuinely don't like this. Yeah.
All right, Dave,
you
we
know,
have a
I'm gonna watch like
very
that.
confusing super chat that just came in.
Okay. David Glens, my
He
wife is in
writes-
labor tonight. Oh my goodness. Thanks for the laughs. Well,
So first of all,
yeah.
I'm uncertain as to why you are watching YouTube while your wife's labor.
You know, well, Paul, I don't have any kids of my own. You do.
I
Labor's
do.
been going for a while. I feel right. Like it's not so much just like a cut and dry. So you know,
No, I know, but also I get it. It's a very high stress time, and laughs are few and far between
Yeah.
on perhaps potentially long-term labor times. So I get it. But
Mhm.
anyway, Mazel Tov to David.
there you
I
go.
say very much. I realize, it's not really my word to say, but it's a good word. Cheers
It's a good
to
word.
you.
David, cheers to you. And we hope everything goes smoothly. And we hope that your first child is a masculine child. I don't really care, but Paul does. Also, I don't know if this is your first child, but if it is, then
Mm.
you know, who's the guy? Who's that character from Godfather? That's Luca Brasi.
Luca Brasi, yep.
The first child.
May your
the
first
masculine-
child be a masculine
the
child.
masculine child. Yeah.
Uh,
I don't like. I don't like Terrifier. I don't like Hostel. I don't like any of the Saw movies. I just don't like movies where people are being mutilated or killed or you know, and it's like, and that's the point of the movie, is just somebody's being murdered and tortured and suffering. And I don't know, I just can't, I can't do it. It's
So,
not my thing.
Dave, what
Yeah.
about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
It's fucking terrible. I mean, like,
It's a-
just
but
from
you
a
saw it.
filmmaking perspective, like, it's a horrible movie.
No,
There's
no,
nothing
you
to
and
it.
I, with a week's notice,
Yeah.
could have made that movie.
Yes. Like that
Yeah.
you're not wrong. Like,
Yeah,
it's,
we
it's
know
just like,
people with cabins.
I get
Like,
it. Winnie
yeah.
the Pooh came out to public domain. You're like, we got to be the first to get this out. But goddamn, like, you could have just maybe taken 10 months and made like an actual good. You could have made a good movie on that premise.
What about Cocaine Bear?
I hate it. I don't hate it. It's the gore in it is fine, whatever. But I'm just like, story wise, it's all over the place. There's no real theme. There's no real character arc. So from a writing perspective, I'm just like,
But I don't feel like different. I don't feel like it's a different development path.
Yeah.
Working in the industry just a
I
little bit that I
feel
have.
like if you're doing Cocaine Bear, you either go all in on the like, just go like right over the top, Evil Dead, Sam Raimi level,
Yeah.
like way over. Like, this is just insane. Or you tell a real story. I feel like this movie kept vacillating between the two, and it to the detriment of everything. So that's what bothers me about Cocaine Bear. It's just like, this I feel like you could have had a better movie had you kind of leaned into one way or the other, but you kept
Although
going
I believe technically Ray Liotta's the final Ray Liotta's film.
yeah.
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 But I just feel like Cocaine Bear and because it was based on a like roughly inspired by a news story.
Yeah.
Slash.
They're very like, so there was this did happen, that there was a drug dealers and they threw cocaine and a bear did eat the cocaine, and then the bear died because the bear ate like 10 kilograms of cocaine and its heart just stopped.
I'm just saying,
yeah,
I feel like those two films, like the pitch meeting is similar.
Yes. Yeah.
And that Cocaine Bear, at least, you know, they elevated their material.
They elevated the material. But I'm like, if you're already doing so, it's like, this isn't the real thing. And so
anyway, I'm feeling you out for where your borders on your horror films are.
Yeah,
all right. Go. And speaking back to ghosts,
Shanty's trying to have a real conversation with you. You know what? We'll just talk about it sometime later. It's Shanty, you and I. We'll have a conversation about it. I don't know what it is. I hate Terrifier movies, you know.
All right. So
like
we have
Silent Night, so I don't know.
We have a super chat. Thank you so much for the support of the show. We greatly appreciate you after our long hiatus. We appreciate all the super chats so much.
Yeah.
So we have Pongmaster Fong.
Who I believe this is the first time Pongmaster has ever super chatted.
I'm not familiar with this screen name. Thank you.
I'm not familiar with his body of work.
Pong. What do you think is the best Western? Oh, this week. Oh boy. What do you think is the best Western movie ever? Just been getting my cowboy costume ready for Halloween.
Oh, Paul, you do not understand the can of worms you've just
opened. You open up a big can of worms for,
because Paul, I fucking love Westerns and I have thoughts on this. Okay, the single best Western movie of all time. It's it depends. It depends on the day. I am a really big fan of the spaghetti westerns, like Fistful of Dollars, Few Dollars More, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, the Sergio Leone spaghetti westerns.
Cowboys versus Aliens.
This is absolutely not. That's an absolute fucking terrible movie. I mean, Blazing Saddles is very good.
No. So Tombstone would be the first name that I think would come to mind.
Tombstone's an excellent, like Tombstone is so good. Two Mules for Sister Sarah. 3:10 to Yuma is really good. True Grit, either the John Wayne one or the modern one, they're both very good.
Yep.
Like the single,
it's not up there, but I still have an affection for Young Guns.
Young Guns is really good. Magnificent Seven, the original one, is really good. with Yul Brynner. Man, I really like the Cowboys with John Wayne. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
Have you seen Live Bone Tomahawk?
no, I have not. Live boat with Tomahawk.
That's the most recent Western that I've seen, and it is disturbing as shit.
Okay.
So, yeah. Not otherworldly, whatever. It's just disturbing shit.
Just disturbing shit.
So yeah.
Did you ever watch Deadwood, Paul? The HBO series. Deadwood?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, Deadwood's it's a TV series, not a movie.
Deadwood is amazing, but yeah,
fantastic. Yeah.
Deadwood's
so good.
Agree. If you have to say what's the best Western TV show, I think Deadwood is unquestionably on the short list. On the short list. Okay, that's enough. That's enough on that, though. Probably.
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That's my final answer. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
Back to the Future 3.
Trivia time.
Trivia time.
I'm guaranteed we're not listening to any more Art Bell. It's trivia time.
Okay. All right. Let's get this on the screen.
Paint Your Wagon, the musical.
Gonna paint your wagon. Gonna paint it good. I don't know how the rest of that goes.
Because the wood is pine. It's gonna paint your wagon. Gonna paint it pine. Yeah. Hey, Paul.
Yes.
Which of the following ghosts is not related to Casper, the friendly ghost? Is it Stretch, Stinky, Legs, or Fatso?
Oh shit! So what's funny is, I absolutely, when I was a kid, I read Casper was an acceptable comic for me to buy for some reason.
This was in the grocery store.
No, but I mean, weirdly, like in a whole culture that, like, well, no, Harry Potter would have been like witchcraft and stuff. Go ahead and go buy a Casper the Friendly Ghost. That's fine. Anyway, these are absolutely names. I think 3. I think
the shanty got burned by your stupid fingers.
Mm-hmm. I think not Legs, because the other ones were more.
The other 3 are the terrible trio who are his uncles. Yeah.
I never saw the live action Caspers actually.
And you have I think there's 2, but yeah, it's Legs. The other 3 are the terrible trio.
Yeah. So Casper the Ghost / Hot Stuff. So for some reason, I was also why were my Mennonite parents allowing me to buy Hot Stuff?
Little devil
and Casper comics is beyond me. And Richie Rich, they were all.
Here's a trivia question for you. Do you know the name of the comic company that published those comics originally?
Harvey Comics.
That's Harvey Comics. Well done.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am now looking back, I cannot believe I was allowed to buy and read any of those. That seems very counter to what would have been seemed.
Also, they weren't very good on any.
Right. I guess I was poorly supervised.
Like some of the Archie comics were okay, but most of the Casper and Richie Rich and Little Devil, like a lot of them weren't good. The Hot Stuff, yeah.
Also, early '80s, I started buying Teen Titans comics.
Well, there you go. So that's in a whole other.
Which was like, oh, it's got Robin in it, and Robin's on TV in the '60s, and he was wholesome, so that must be fine.
He's doing Trucker Crank with Starfire.
Yeah. All right.
Those 80s Titan comics get a little intense. Yeah.
Should we get some ghost stories here?
Yeah, let's do it. This is it because we had the break, Paul. We had a break, and then we had a whole trivia timer where we talked about horror movies and shit.
This is young lady.
Good ghost stories.
Good ghost stories.
Good ghost stories.
Here we go.
I can feel
Thank you to everyone who's watching the show, by the way. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you for sticking around through our fucking nonsense.
He said up to 20 degrees and more of difference, sometimes right down to freezing. She mentioned cats and brings to mind the following. Again from Canada. Canada must be a very haunted place. Where I live, we have woods by our house, about 7/10 of.
Sounds like Canada.
Does sound like Canada. We do have a lot of woods. Can confirm.
Tenths of a kilometer in size. And in this
kilometer, that checks out.
Did you see? Have you ever seen the Nate Bargatze SNL sketches where he's George Washington? talking about his dream of American for the future, and he's all about the various measurements they'll use. And
I have. Yeah,
they're so
I have
good.
seen those.
Football, where a player throws the ball with their hands. So there's no cooking. There's a little kicking. Yeah.
Woods
many yards
is a
mile?
man
Nobody knows.
some time ago who hung himself. Actually, 70 years ago, when his wife had died at an early age. 70 years ago, the land that everyone is now living on was farmland. And ever since those woods have been left alone. The only thing about the man was he was a cat lover. He had about 4 cats. And I can tell you there is something about those woods that is pretty freaky now. Every now and then, even now, there is a gathering of cats in the woods. No lie, I've seen them. They just sit around. 10 to 20 of them. Tell you what I'll do. I'll try and get a picture of it next time it happens and say,
No, you're not going to send it a picture. Here's 10 cats. So therefore,
20 cats, Paul. Could be 20 cats. Can you
20
explain,
cats.
Paul, can you explain any rational scientific reason 20 cats would be in the same place at the same
Heat.
time?
They're in heat. My cat. Fuck. The cat's in heat.
Yeah. Not in Canada.
It's a cat orgy, Dave.
I saw the musical. I know how they are. Yeah. There was like 80 cats on the stage there.
That's right. Yes.
They wouldn't fucking shut up Mr. Mistopheles. Did you see the movie? Oh my god!
I have not seen the movie. I saw the so weirdly early in my life, I thought Andrew Lloyd Webber was a good person. Was a good playwright, and I saw Cats several times.
I mean,
But I've
there's
not
good
seen the
Andrew
movie.
Lloyd Webber music.
I know, but I now understand that maybe wasn't the pinnacle.
No, but I actually think the musical Cats is fine. But the movie, oh wow, it's
I've
like
not
you
seen.
almost have to see it.
So
because
what I have done is I've pulled up.
Yeah.
I used clips from that movie in some of my videos on my main channel. But I've not sat down and like I'm gonna get some popcorn and so I'm vaguely aware of what's in it.
And it's like you just have to watch it and be like, somebody spent $100 million on this, and like people watched this. People watched what I'm watching right now, and we're
That's
like,
right.
yeah, this is what we're putting in theaters
That's right.
worldwide.
So
this right here, this is good. This is
so typically what happens on a movie shoot, especially especially a film as experimental as so they have the dailies, right? And the dailies get uploaded, and the people who are paying for the movie, usually in the first 2 weeks, are watching the dailies every day.
Yeah.
Because they want to be able to pivot, right?
Right. Yes.
So you're right. So executives and producers and everyone's like holding hands saying, these are the dailies from the first week of Cats.
Yeah.
And we're all on board. This is the vision.
And we've gone through, it's a very VFX movie. We've gone through visual effects. We've gone through final edit. We're looking at this and we are saying, yep, this is the thing. This is the thing that we are releasing in theaters worldwide. We're going to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to have physical film made of all of this. And we're sending this to Sydney, Australia, and Mumbai and London, and they all need to see this.
We're gonna be submitting this. We're gonna say for your consideration for the Oscars.
Yep. We got Taylor Swift.
The Golden Globes. The Golden Globes even has a musical category. We're a shoe-in.
We're shoe-in. Oh, it's baffling. Like, it's just straight up. You're just watching this and you're like, who ever thought this was a good idea? This was the thing you need to do.
That's how that old pitch meeting channel, they get that because not everything is agreed to is good. The Ronin, thank you for the super chat. The Ronin, welcome tonight.
Good to see
you.
Oh
shit, Ghost to Ghost is back. I hope I didn't miss too much.
Well, I got bad news. You've actually
let me tell you what, man. If you think that you need evidence of the supernatural, let me tell you, sometimes vapor looks like a lady.
Yeah. You missed
And,
me dressed like a kind of mummy in a shitty way.
And also
Or Humpty Dumpty, depending who you ask.
I was
Yeah,
the
Paul's
Cowardly
got
Lion. Also, Art Bell got his hotel room for free at one point.
Art Bell had a fax from somebody who got his hotel room.
Oh, I see. Someone got their hotel room for free, therefore supernatural.
Yeah.
So that's about it. But we're hopeful for this next call.
Yes. This is where it's going to get real good.
We're turning it around. True ghost stories now that are true.
To you. I believe the cats are gathering in this man's name.
All right, we're still fucking talking about cats. Okay, the next one. This guy's got 20. I guarantee right now behind my house in the woods, because I'm Canadian, and there are woods behind my house. That's just the way it is. There's 20 cats behind my house right now. Like
I mean, depending how you define behind, yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Aloha, Art. This is Mike calling from Kihei, Maui, Hawaii.
Hello, Mike. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Actually, I told you this briefly a few years ago. My wife Bonnie and I had gone over to Kauai pre-Iniki, the year before Iniki hit.
Oh, the big...
I don't know what that is.
A hurricane? I don't know. Yeah.
Pre-Iniki.
Big, terrible...
20 years ago, 25 years ago, yeah.
Is Iniki better or worse than COVID?
Worse.
Okay.
Hurricane, yes.
That's a nasty one. We stayed at an older, fairly flat resort called the Cocoa Palms. It was nice. We had driven around the day. We went back to the hotel, pretty tired, and we went to bed after listening to the little band downstairs. Sometime in the night, I woke up. I was on my back in the bed, and something fairly large, kind of glowing, was at the foot of the bed.
Bad.
It was human-shaped, and it scared the bejesus out of me, to the point where I was petrified and could not move.
Describe it more than that. Human-shaped, sort of a mist, you mean, or try and do a little bit better.
Well, at least 7 feet tall. If it was a person, it probably would have weighed several hundred pounds.
Oh, so this is very large.
How does a ghost weigh 700 pounds?
If it was, Paul, he said if it was a person,
Oh.
it would weigh 700 pounds. A person at that proportions. Try to fucking keep up, lion. Okay?
Like 250, 300 pounds.
All right.
The perception I got was that it was kind of glowing like a glow stick. You know those green glow sticks you crack at night?
Yes.
Okay, well, it scared me so bad, all I did was close my eyes. Whatever it is, it's going to go away. I'm closing my eyes. That's it. Woke up in the morning. My wife and I finished our time on Kauai, went to Oahu, and driving from the airport over the Poly to the other side, I told her on the Poly, I said, you know what, babe? Last night there was something in our room. And she turned.
Okay, so
This is getting good. Okay.
No, but I've been imbibing. I can tell already.
Okay.
On the Poly,
Why did I even hear that? I assume
he told me on the Poly. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Fair enough. You didn't hear it. So maybe I'm making stuff up. We're gonna let it go.
To me, and the chicken skin started. That's when you get the goosebumps.
So they call it in Hawaii chicken skin.
She freaked out with her big Hawaiian eyes and looked at me and said, I saw it too. And I said, well, what would you see? Apparently she must have seen a little more than I did.
This sounds a lot like the first call, but better.
No, this is better. This is a good
Yeah,
ghost
much
story.
better. So this is all the pluses of the first call.
Yeah.
And he's not making the same mistakes of, we saw them on different days at different places.
Yeah. Just like, hey, I saw this like weird thing. Could have been sleeping, whatever. Good intro, right? It's like I close my eyes.
He's building. You called it, Dave. Here we go.
Perceived more than I did.
Maybe she didn't close her eyes.
I sure did. My wife says that she saw a very large Hawaiian float in through the window and stand at the foot of our bed, and it was, to her, she said, it was very pissed off. It was,
and it said, "Do you smell what the Rock's got cooking?"
It's not that's Samoan. It's a different thing. But yes.
Oh, fair enough.
Fucking Rock.
They pissed off Hawaiian.
Pissed off Hawaiian. Now,
what? Who?
I'm not going to get into him. I got a real rant about The Rock, but I'm not going to get it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm white. My wife's almost pure Hawaiian. I'm wondering, is this a Hawaiian ghost looking down, seeing a local woman with a white man?
I hear you.
Angry.
Fucking racist ghosts.
I mean, justifiable. Yeah.
Don't be selling yourself as some white dude. Have some self-respect, lady.
Why are you sleeping with this colonist?
I mean, the ghost got a point. The ghost has a point.
Speaking of, did you see they're doing Moana 2?
I'm sorry, what?
Moana. They're making a sequel to Moana.
I've never seen Moana.
You never? It's actually a good movie. You should see Moana.
I should. It's just like Toy Story 4. It's like, you know what? I will love it whenever I see it, but I just am not compelled
it's
to
a
see it.
Lin-Manuel Miranda soundtrack. It's just a really good story.
I guarantee when I see it, whenever I see Moana, it will be like, why have I not seen this yet?
The soundtracks.
I have Inside Out 2 queued up. I'm sure I will love Inside Out 2. Just haven't seen it. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Why do you? But you're busy watching Venom 3.
I know, right? And I'm watching like Terrifier 3 instead.
Terrifier 3 and Venom 3. Okay. Yeah. So there's just no helping you. That's what I'm hearing.
I am my own biggest problem.
Clearly
established.
What you're saying is I need to come out to Halifax, visit you, and figure this out because
that's right.
I'm
a season behind on what we do in the shadows.
My God, Paul, I don't even know what to do with you. We'll have to come up with a list.
Things are falling apart, Dave, without you.
Come up with a list of the things you haven't seen, figure it out. It's any problem is a fixable problem, right?
I haven't seen the new Batman series.
Wait, which Batman series?
The new animated Batman series on
I haven't either. I've actually heard very mixed things about that.
Oh, have you? Okay. Fair enough.
So, although Tim, what's his name's involved in it? The guy who did like the original Batman.
Yeah, why am Tim? I will absolutely. As soon as I stop thinking about it,
I'm going to be like, it's Tim this, you idiots. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
we've even met. We saw him in person.
Bruce Tim.
Yes, we.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dave, you and I have met him. Or been in the same room as
him. Very first Calgary comic convention where there were like 300 people there, and somehow they got Bruce Timm to come and do a panel. Yep. It was one of the best panels I've ever seen at any convention because he just like 2 hours. He just talked about here's like nuts and bolts of like animated series production and like got into like the real weeds of like this is the things you got to do, and it was one of the most fascinating, amazing. Discussions I've ever seen.
That's why I remembered it so well. But it's like you and I can't.
It was so good, and it was just in it was like a cement floor in the middle of a hockey arena. There's curtains around to make this wall-off room. There was like you and me and 50 other people listening to Bruce fucking Timm talk about everything he went through making the original Batman. I was just like, why is nobody else here but us? This is.
I'm
weird.
Pretty sure Gail Simone was also at that one.
Yep. She sure was.
And which was similarly like no one came and talked to her. So you and I got like or at least I did. I went like and just chatted with her all over and over because it's like no one's talking to Gail Simone for some reason.
You know the funny thing, I remember Kevin Sorbo was also at that one.
Right, I recall. Yeah,
he came to our booth. Like he actually walked the floor.
Mm-hmm.
This was when Hercules was like on TV.
Right.
He was a legitimate star at the time and was one of the most great. Like he asked us what our company was, what Red 5 was about, asked about our comic titles. He spent like 20 minutes legitimately interested in what we were doing and what we were going. Was one of the most is for everything that happened. It's like this guy, like he didn't have to do this. He spent a lot of time asking, like, what are you doing? What are your lives? What's this thing you're trying to build and going? And
I sometimes think about that when I watch when I think about the God's Not Dead movie, but then the God's Not Dead movie is so bad it erased all that.
It's so bad, like, and all the stuff after, like, that's why in my head I have these two versions of Kevin Sorbo. There's like this whole thing, but I'm like, but here's the experience. I had a half-hour conversation with him when he was a very famous celebrity.
Yep.
And I was just a putz working at a comic booth in Calgary, Alberta. And he spent a great deal of time getting to know what we were doing and what series he wanted to know about Neozoic. He wanted to know about Afterburn. He wanted to know about all these things. He was like, he didn't have to do any of this. And he spent so much time asking about us. And it was just like, it was a very surreal experience. And it's still, even still now, when I think about Kevin Sorbo and all the things, it's just like, it's, you know, it's the whole thing. People are more nuanced than social media would have you believe.
Although, no, fuck that guy, because he
is like, he absolutely is, you know. And it's like, and I've got no patience.
He has now become what he probably at that point would have not liked. Yeah. So, the Ronin $2 super chat. I loved Cape Crusader personally.
Well, so I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it.
I'm glad you. I actually love when people love things. If you saw Venom 3 and loved it, I will be happy for you.
You know what? I will probably watch Cape Crusader at some point because I love.
I will. Yeah.
Both of us are.
Yeah, I definitely will. But
yeah. So. Yeah. Yep.
All right. I think it's trivia time, Dave.
It is trivia time, Paul.
I see by the clock on the wall. It's time to bid you one and all. Not. That's not yet. That's not yet.
What question are we on? Do you even know? I don't remember.
We're on. We're going into question number 8. Going to question 8.
Last question. This is it. All the marbles. We're going to find out who will stand and who will fall. Paul, how many ghosts are there in the movie 13 Ghosts? Are there 666?
Feels like a trick question.
Are there 15? Are there 13? Or are there 12? Might have been drunk when I wrote these. Who can say? Do you remember the movie?
No, actually.
And it's crazy ass glass house with all these. Yeah.
Don't know if I saw it.
Yeah, you probably didn't, honestly.
All right, it feels like it's got to be a trick question, but none of these answers feel right, so I guess I would go with 13.
Well, I'm going to tell you a secret. One of the answers is right.
Okay. Well, I don't know, Dave. We're going to fact check. Someone in the chat's going to fact check you.
Do it. People have gotten it right. I've seen in chat.
It's probably 12.
It is.
There it
12.
is. It is 12. There you go.
Yeah. In the movie, the evil villain is trying to create 13 ghosts in very specific circumstances, and one of the people has to die in the movie to become the 13th ghost, but they don't. And it doesn't happen. So the 13th ghost is never manifest. There are actually only 12 ghosts in the movie 13 Ghosts. Good job, Vishanti. Yeah.
This is
exactly. Steve Vishanti, Tony Shalhoub's character, never actually becomes the 13th ghost. Yes.
This sounds a little bit like
I just love that fact. That the movie 13
that's
only
a great fact.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing you have to have watched it to know, and that's great. I also I'm not confident based on what's happening here that was the final question. Is there? You sure there wasn't 9 questions?
I'm not.
Okay. Because it doesn't seem to be tabulating. It's going on to. Oh no, there's a tabulation.
There it is. Yeah. But also, I feel like I'm like, that's the kind of thing people will be like, "Oh, I could have put 13," and you know, that's the kind of shit I would do.
So congratulations to Pegajace. I don't think Pegajace has won before.
I don't believe so. Pegajace, feel free to throw in chat. Have you?
So Pegajace, either leave a comment or email to paul@paulogia.com and to arrange for your Tumblr delivery.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the Tumblr club.
Kids Club.
Pegajace. Also, congratulations to Scuzzbopper, who is very close, and Icarus. Yeah. Well done.
Your Vishanti was too high to get one of the questions right.
And boo to all you sheeple who just didn't, you're not enlightened enough to know.
Not enlightened enough to know. The somewhat random Candyman.
Okay, are we ready for more ghosts?
Heck yeah. We're going up.
How long have we
Timothy
been
Harmon,
doing this show right now?
you
Not
get a
very
hearty
long.
handshake.
All right.
That
doing
was
it.
very perturbing, and we both had chicken skin for quite some time that evening. One more recently, unfortunately, my wife's lovely father, who lives over in Waimea on the Big Island,
Yes.
was diagnosed with a terminal cancer around May this year, and he decided that he would prefer not to fight it and would go with hospice care and prefer to live out his remaining time in the living room at home. And with a lot of the homes here in Hawaii, we have day beds in the living room.
No, I understand that. I think I would make the same choice.
So
Not universally, but I having spent a lot of time in cancer wards, I get it.
I have an uncle who is going through not cancer; it's a different thing, but has basically decided he's like, nah,
Yeah, a lot of times,
we don't need to.
I
Now, to be
was-
fair, my uncle's over 80, so
Yeah.
he's just like, it's been good. That's fine. That's enough. Yeah,
but it's 8 years ago I had cancer or so.
yeah, I was there.
And you were there, and
Yeah.
and there was definitely I was looking around the room, and like it was shitty, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I was
Yeah.
definitely looking around the room. It was like if I was
Oh my
older-
god, that guy in the bed next to you! Holy shit, that like
right?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of times where I get that choice, and actually my greatest fear. People always talk about, aren't you afraid of dying? It's like no, like I fear being forced to stay alive so much more
Yes.
than I fear death. So yeah.
Yes.
Kim, that's his name, her dad, spent out his remaining time in the living room on the beautiful hospice bed provided. Mom lovingly cared for him, and it was wonderful because he had time and all of us family could come by and say aloha. Well, we're staying there, and he has not yet passed away, and the only room left because of all of the ohana, or family over, is Mom and Dad's room, which they really don't sleep in too much anyway because they sleep in the living room. Anyway, Dad is still alive, but getting near the end. This was within 3 days of him passing on.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I go to bed about 11 o'clock at night in the parents' bed. I'm sleeping on my stomach, and something gives me a finger jab poke through the mattress into my ribs. It felt like
That's not where I thought he was going to get poked. I thought he was.
I'm listening to the story. Don't ruin the story.
I thought he was getting. There was a finger, and at first it was unpleasant, but then,
You know what? I kind of liked it.
yeah,
Ohana means
came up
family. That's absolutely right. This predates Lilo and Stitch, everybody. So just, yeah.
about 2 inches.
Yes.
It woke me up, scared the hell out of me, and I said, "Bonnie." She goes, "What?" There was something poke me in the ribs. And I rolled over onto my back, and she goes, "Are you okay?" I go, "Yeah," but what was that? She goes, "I don't know." And then the pressure of someone sitting down on my legs. And I said,
On your legs?
on my legs. I said, and I'm getting chicken skin now. I'm freaking out remembering. I said, "Babe, it's sitting on my legs. What am I going to do?" She says, "It's okay. It's all right. It's probably just Dad, his spirit, coming into the room saying, 'You're in our bed.'" I said, "Well, he's not dead yet." She says, "I know, but this is his house, and he can move around when he wants."
Sure.
I said, "Babe, can I please sleep in another room? I can't handle this. It's too much." She said, "Okay." So we switched with her sister.
If my son-in-law is sleeping in my bed and I want him out,
Yeah.
I'm not poking him in the ribs.
Nope.
Nope. But okay. All right. So now we have a non-dead
You'll
person.
just be like, it's time for you to leave. I have been in social situations with my good friend Paul where he's just like, yeah, it's time for all of you to leave my house now. Everybody needs to go. Just go away.
Shit, I have done that too. I've totally done that. You're right. I haven't thought about it in years. But yeah, you're right. I've totally. All right.
Okay. Everybody should probably just leave the house now. Yep.
I need to do
Say
alone
this about
stuff.
autistic
So
kids.
yeah.
You always know where they stand. Yeah.
I'm sure that's not going to get any better when I'm 80. It's not going to. Yeah.
You never learn the old Canadian prairies. You got to slap the legs, You got to talk about your car a little bit.
The trouble with the prairies, though, is the prairies method sends you first. You have a conversation on one side of the door.
Yeah. Oh, it's a half hour. It's a half hour.
And then you have a conversation on the other side of the door with the
trail.
Yeah.
You go, the door. You talk about families.
Yeah.
You get out to the driveway. Then you talk about your cars for a while.
That's correct.
Yeah. Then you get into the car. Then you have another conversation while someone's standing outside the window and you're in the driver's seat and the car is running, but you talk for maybe 20 minutes about whatever thing. This is where you have the real, either super frivolous or very serious, like, well, like, here's this thing, somebody's in this real trouble or whatever, but we're going to have this conversation now. And then you go home. And
you're not wrong.
It's probably a 20 to 55 minute. And the first step is you slap both thighs and you're like, well, about time to go. And that's just when you start the dance. That's just.
So here's the thing. When these things were happening to me, we didn't have the vocabulary of like spoons or social or social battery or things like that. I was ahead of my time, and I was literally just like, I'm self-aware enough to know that this is just fucking done. But I was always hosting because I had the good house. So
you had a very nice house. Yeah. Oh. Bamboo and everything.
And Dad passed on shortly after that.
Uh-oh. Clicky clicks.
Clicky clicks.
So the clicky clicks never have the grace to happen while we're actually in midst, weird conversation. It's just.
How's my. So I have brand new internet, Paul. From our last new internet stream.
Oh.
New internet provider. Completely new. Have you noticed any issues with me?
You know what? I would say that I've not seen anything negative. Whereas sometimes, at least once per show, you go pixely or yeah.
There would be things. There would be issues.
Your handsome face has been in full resolution the entire time.
Yeah.
Well, now what?
I don't know. Oh. What are we doing? We're still playing Toast Toast?
I hit play and it just silence. What's the
just silence? Yeah. Oh, thank you for chatting. Just dead air. This is just like college radio.
Why do you think the state of Hawaii is such a haunted state?
Nice.
I don't know.
It is, though. I've had guests on who've told story after story, like the ones you just told. Hawaii is a very, very haunted set of islands. There's no question about it.
You and your wife, your wife's from Oahu, right?
That's correct.
Thank you for listening, Art.
You've been to Hawaii,
your audience.
I was going to ask you. I absolutely have been to Hawaii a couple times.
I have not. I would love to go at some point, but I have never had the pleasure. No.
And it was nice when I lived on the West Coast, so it wasn't I was most of the way there. I thought about going to Hawaii now, but now I'd have to travel like all the way across the continent first.
Yeah, you're literally almost on the opposite side of the world.
Yeah, it's like the worst case scenario. Now it's like now I can go to England. Now I can go to England virtually, it's closer than
that
Vegas.
Would be I feel like if I ever won the lottery, that would be a thing. It'd be like you and me, like, hey, we're spending a month in England. Like, I'd rent a place where I think we would have a good time, you and me, touring through Europe.
Yeah, agree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Keeps in mind that the loved one.
I've been crystal clear all stream. That's good. No,
close by.
Are you just talking to people in chat now?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're more interesting than you.
Well, that is not wrong. I thought it was in a ghost story.
Here is a gentleman who works, or did work, actually. He did the same thing I did in a 911 dispatch center. I guess fire dispatch center. Where are you, sir?
I'm in Birch Bay, Washington.
Welcome to the program.
Well, thank you, Art.
You're about to tell me that you have had ghosts call 911?
In a way, yeah. It was basically to... it would be well over 100-year-old emergency, I would say, of a dying woman in a small Mexican village on the banks of the Santa Ana River.
My God. 100-year-old emergency.
Mm-hmm. Middle 1800s, 1864 to be exact. So it's a time travel story as well as a ghost story.
I guess it is, huh?
Yeah, maybe
Well,
it is.
it may be that where the spirits are, there is no time as we quite, exactly understand it or think we do.
Oh, sure. And, if they have a story to tell, it can wait for eternity if it has to.
Well, apparently one did, at least part way.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about how this started. I had just started at this fire communication center. It was on the banks of the Santa Ana River. This was in 1984.
Okay.
And basically it was a 24-hour operation. We were on a 24-hour shift, so we would sleep and eat and pretty much live there for an entire day and then be relieved by the relief crew and work that type of schedule. So normally my shift would end at 8 p.m. From 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I would get to sleep from 8 p.m. till 1 a.m. and then go back on the board till 4 in the morning.
Gotcha.
And that way we could at least get a couple hours of uninterrupted sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought the strangest thing was that none of the dispatchers would sleep in the dormitory, which struck me as really odd. They all seemed afraid.
Despite the fact that I was in the dormitory. Sleeping in the raw, as they say. I don't know why they wouldn't don't know why they wouldn't.
The other channel.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting what channel we're on.
Yeah.
It's And the dispatch personality, they're usually guys who are rock solid individuals.
Oh, yes.
They're pretty fearless people, basically. But we'd have guys sleeping in the hallways or bedding down in the lounge, that type of thing. Well, I'd been on for about a week, and I got woken up in the morning by the intercom saying that, I could sleep till noon because I was going to have to work a 12-hour overtime shift. Someone had called in sick, and I was basically up for it. Well, about a half hour later, and usually these things happen when you're dead asleep, I felt something lay across my legs, and there was a groan like somebody going, when they're stretching.
Yes.
And I woke up and I saw this kind of it wasn't a mist, it was almost like a gelatinous fog breaking above my head, and the room was pitch black dark, which was really a strange thing. So anyway, I stumbled out in the dispatch center and asked the people if, what the heck was going on and, why are they playing games? And they all gave a conspiratorial look to each other and said, go back to bed, we'll tell you about the ghost later, right? So I slept real good after that.
Yeah, right.
Well, anyway, it was uneventful. I came back for the next shift, and that's when the weirdness happened. 1 in the morning, just a little bit before 1 in the morning, I went into the strangest dream I've ever had. I was walking along the banks of the Santa Ana River, and I knew it was 1864. I just knew it. And I thought, this is the strangest dream. For one thing, I'm here. I can feel the wind on my skin. It was just barely blowing. I could hear the leaves rustling. I could feel the sand crunch underneath my feet along the banks of this river.
Right.
And I thought, wow, this is really interesting. I know where I'm at. I'm right by the fire dispatch center, but the city's gone. There's nothing here, and, where are all the children and the animals?
You were literally seeing the same geography minus the buildings and the people?
Except for, differences or variations of a river as it changes over the year. But my internal radar and compass told me I was exactly at the fire dispatch center. I was actually...
The internal radar and compass, Paul, told him he was exactly the GPS he has in his brain. This is the exact same place, but probably 200 years in the past. Because of erosion.
I'm muted because dog.
Yeah, she's just going nuts there. There's probably a dragon outside that she's saving you from. Good job, Bella.
Walking up to it, approaching northbound along the banks of the Santa Ana River. And I saw this small house.
Feeding a dog.
Kind of like an adobe little house like you would see, part of a rancho or a very small village. And this woman appeared in the door, and she was what you would call, probably about a 20-year-old, really beautiful senorita. She was just gorgeous with long flowing hair and a smile that would melt your heart. This was like, wow, what's going on? Anyway, she beckoned to me to come to the door, and as soon as my foot hit the threshold of this little house,
I'm just quoting song lyrics. We're moving on. This guy just had a dream about meeting some Mexican babe in the past, and it's just like, this is a ghost story. Oh, you're still muted. Turn your mic on, Paul. God,
well, it's probably best.
damn it.
I still got a whiny dog.
Yeah,
But
I can see her going nuts.
There's because of all the construction that's been happening around our place, the empty lots across from us have become a place where like deer and pheasants and cats and whatever, they're all kind of congregated at night. And so, yeah, that's what's happening is there's wildlife outside, and she's
every single one of them.
Yep. Is a danger. It's a danger to our existence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
Kind of transported into her, if you know what I mean. It's like she melded with me, for want of a better word. We were like one person.
Spock would say mind meld, yes.
Almost like that, but not quite as like, as trite as you would expect something on Star Trek. This was like a total 2 bodies and 2 souls instantly mingling together.
Wow.
And it was an instant feeling of like warmth and love and a tremendous sexual rush, which later on I found out that happens sometimes. Anyway, she kind of separated from me, and that.
Okay. Well, we're getting into it here.
Me into the house, and I went in there, and she showed me this old woman laying on a bed.
Uh-huh.
And prior to entering the fire service, I'd been an ambulance driver in LA, and you pretty much know when a person's ready to breathe their last. And this woman was definitely, she was what they call chain stoking, that final type of breathing.
Uh-huh.
And she had on a kind of like a floral print shift dress.
Yes.
And this girl started to tell me that, she was the last of the small village, and she had stayed there and taken care of all the people that were sick, and they had a drought and a famine, and some type of terrible disease had come through the community and killed a lot of people. And basically everybody just packed up and went upriver to try to find a better place to live, took all the children, healthy people, and animals, and they all just split.
Makes sense, yeah.
And she was the last one, taking care of the last person alive that could not make the trip. Well, to make a long story shorter, she basically started telling me how all these people died. This is when the dream got really bad. I mean, it was like I was trapped in this place. If you know, well, you obviously know the personality of a dispatcher that's fully in control of his environment.
I certainly do.
I mean, you are the savior of the city. Otherwise, you'll never.
Okay. All right. Anyways, yeah. Just let him finish his story.
All right.
Savior of the city here.
Never make it. Anyway, it was the first time in my career that I'd ever felt totally trapped and scared and wanting to just get up and run from the dispatch center, even though, I wasn't there, but I was.
Right.
All these faces started coming at me. They were all like Mexican villagers, which is what lived in that part of California at the time. And as each face came at me, I died with them, and they were talking to me. And one after another, it must have been 100 faces just coming. I mean, like, literally face to face with me. And I felt the pain of their death.
I take it you didn't sleep in there again.
Oh, I did. I was not going to let this.
What, who?
Oh my goodness, Andrew. I was like, if you had a bad trip. I'm looking at Andrew. So I have owned in my life an Old English sheepdog and a Lhasa. So best dog I ever had was a Lhasa. So I've never owned a poodle, but I had people. So the Old English sheepdog that we own, this is before you knew me, Paul. This was in Calgary. Scruffy. Without question, the stupidest dog I've ever owned. Which, just because, like, not every sheepdog, there's outliers.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, like, friendliest, most loving, just like a super friendly dog, but just fucking stupid, like so stupid. And big. Like, I don't know if you know how Old English sheepdogs are, like, they're the big black and white, like, fluffy. This is like a 150-pound dog. Like, they're big dogs and just stupid. Just the stupidest dog. Oh my God, Scruffy. It was just, but you could hook him up to a sled. He'd pull me and my sister on a toboggan. We'd go through a field, like, just running, because he would just take off. And I love that dog so much, but God damn, he was stupid. Just the dumbest. ran maybe 20, 30 times into the patio. Like we had a big French patio door, like double glass.
Yeah.
And he would hit it at full speed more than once, completely took the door off the,
Oh no.
knocked the door down into the house. And like any normal dog would do that like 2 or 3 times and then stop, much like a cow with like an electric, where it's like you don't touch the electric fence. After a while, you can turn off the electric fence around cattle because they learn that if you touch this fence, it hurts. And they just stop touching it. Not Scruffy. Scruffy would hit that just in glass wall and knock himself unconscious time after time after time after time. Just the stupidest dog. Oh, man. Numerous times tried to jump out of moving cars like at highway speeds, tried to catch vehicles moving at highway speeds. Just like you constantly were fighting to keep this dog from killing itself. It was, yeah. Lived to like 8. Was a good dog. Loved Scruffy. Would go nuts after coyotes outside but was without question the dumbest dog I've ever owned. Yeah. The last Apsa, great dog. Best dog I ever owned. Yeah.
We got a super chat, Dave. You want to read this one?
Hey, I would love to, Paul. I just got done watching ghost hunters demonstrating a spirit box, talking to a dead person. I asked them if they'd ask it to tell them something only they would know to verify. They did not oblige. Now, there you go. Brandon asking the tough questions with your $10 super chat, and they're ducking it. I feel like, Paul, you've got some experience with that. Certain questions that just doesn't come in.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Brandon. We appreciate
we appreciate the super chat.
Yeah, we appreciate that for sure.
Yeah. That's always have you ever watched any of like those ghost hunting shows or the things?
Sometimes. I'm not super interested, but
yeah, I am, but more in like a kind of like, okay. It's the very much like it's really cool if you look at it from this specific thing, but as soon as you apply any kind of like actual scientific theory or logical,
right? Yes, no. That's the thing, is that
everything breaks down super quickly, right? But it's like, yeah, if you connect the dots just this way, well, then you get a really cool picture.
Yeah, if you super want to believe, then
yes, if you come in with the presupposition, yeah.
All right, we are coming up to the top of the hour.
Hey, how about the Oilers, Paul?
What happened to the Oilers? Did they win?
No,
they did.
Oh, there you go. How about those Flames?
They're doing something. They're
I keep telling my dad this is all gonna end in tears, but
No, but you gotta, even though I hate them, you gotta just enjoy it, and like it is what it is. And
it is what it is.
Even if you end up with first draft pick at the end of the season, you can talk about the first 10 games.
Yeah.
And so no,
it's
you gotta
pre-All-Star break, it doesn't mean anything. But right now I'm just like, I don't understand what's happening here. This is crazy.
Yeah,
this is
all good.
Yeah.
I have a weird dog and need a bio break. I don't know how you or do you feel like are we so we're at the top of the hour.
I mean, I just poured a drink.
Okay, so do we have another bit of time in us, you think?
I have more time in me. I don't know how you.
I have time in me if I can have a quick break.
I have to give blood in 9 hours. Other than that, I'm
very
fine.
Good.
All right.
Okay. So do you want me to put on the ghost stories? Because I feel like you can. These are very narrative. You could just keep listening.
Yeah, just throw the ghost story on. I want to hear some good ghost stories. Sooner or later, we got to get a good one.
I was going to get to the bottom of what the heck was going on with this thing. Anyway, there was I used to hate it when 1 o'clock would roll along and a dispatcher's voice would come on the speaker and say, get out of the sack, it's time to hit the board. Well, the dispatcher that was handling the shift came on and he pulled me out of my sleep. Anyway, I stumbled into the communications center, didn't even put on my uniform. I was drenched in sweat. I had this big lump in my throat. These tears were just like pouring down my face. And he looked at me and said, "What in the heck happened to you?" So I told him, "I think I just got visited by a ghost." And that's when he finally said, "Oh, these darn ghosts, it's like they've been banging on the switchboard all night. I've had this creepy feeling like something's standing here watching me, and I can't take this anymore. I'm going to go sleep in the lounge. I'm not sleeping in that dorm anymore." So I figured, okay, well, there is something here. It's not just me in his bed. Like something was crushing his chest. And he would talk in Spanish, and the other dispatchers would say, "Yeah, when this guy's sleeping, he starts speaking Spanish, and that's when he's having these nightmares."
Well, it's obvious to me, sir. Thank you very much for your call and your story. It's obvious to me what was occurring. I, too, worked in a 911 dispatch center in Monterey County. And on a daily basis, even an hourly basis, you deal with life and death. Actually, I found it to be too much, and I spent a year at it and bailed out. But you deal with life and death. I'm the kind of person that takes my work home with me. And so it was not the job for me. But a place of haunting? Oh, yes, of course. Place of crisis, a place where death is documented nearly on an hourly basis, sometimes more. Yes.
We'll get to these
On my
super
first
chat.
time caller line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi,
Hi there. Where are you?
Paul from London, Ontario, Canada.
London, Ontario. Haunted Canada. Yes, sir.
Yes, we are pretty haunted. Actually, the one I've got happened when I was about 8 years old. We were a bunch of us sitting around messing around, and the guys I was with decided to hold a seance. And we were sitting in my friend's basement, and
You decided to hold a seance.
well, yeah,
So that's like you're really inviting it.
Well, yeah, that's what I like. I didn't take part. I sat off in the corner going, "No, this isn't for me."
Uh-huh.
Besides, I didn't really believe in that stuff at the time. After that, I really changed.
Super chats to fire through.
Super chats. Oh my goodness.
Super
We got
chats left and right.
Hold on. Let's find the first one here.
I believe Matthew K is the first one.
Here we go. This one, Matthew
Yeah.
K.
We need more toast. Oh, go ahead, Paul. Paul, please. It's your channel.
We need more toast to toast. Much love. Thank you so much, Matthew K. Appreciate your member chat.
We do. And Paul and I agree with you. And we will be making a concerted effort to get more toast to you people and for our own mental sanity between now and Christmas. I think we're good for 2 weeks from now, right? No, we're
not. No.
Oh, we're not. Oh,
That's
fuck. Well, all right. We'll just move on.
I think that's my Christmas. So yeah.
Oh, you're right. It is.
Yep.
Your Christmas. Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know. Paul and I'll talk. We'll talk off stream. We'll see what we can do. Maybe we need to adjust.
Olivia Williams, thank you so much. Yeah. We'll just spend this to say hello. LOL.
Olivia, spend away.
Good to see you in the stream. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
I had the pleasure 2 weeks ago. I was at like a cabin up north, and we were having 90s movie nights. There were 6 of my friends there with me. And so we had 90s movie nights. Every night you had to pick a movie from the 90s to show. So we had different nights and go. But then also I was there. I'm like, well, let's throw this DVD of Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog in there.
Ooh.
Most of them had never seen
what?
Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. And people were like, this is so good. Why have I never heard of it? It's like, yeah, there's just so much. It's such a good show.
Like the air.
And I forgot how good Nathan Fillion is in that.
With my freeze ray, I will stop the war.
With my freeze,
it's not a death ray or
ice ray. That's so Johnny Snow. Yeah, I could sing every song for you right now.
All right, feel inside I dare to feel. All right, Timothy Harmon.
Yes,
Dave. You will be donating a blood alcohol solution, maybe.
So when in Canada, I don't know how it is in the States. In Canada, when you give blood, they ask a lot of questions. None of the questions have to do with how much you drank the night before. So we're good to go. They ask about what countries you've been to, what drugs you've taken, what sexual partners you've had.
Farms.
Nobody asks, hey, did you have 12 to 18 ounces of whiskey last night? I don't know. It's none of your fucking business. Not whiskey, rum. We are drinking Mount Gay rum tonight. But, yeah.
Vishanti's using her member chat to say, because Dave's wearing blue, go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers. Let me tell you something, Paul. I don't know how you feel about this. So my dad, I'm less a baseball fan. My dad's a hardcore baseball fan. Watches literally every Jays game. I fucking hate the Yankees, as does he.
Fair, yeah.
Can't stand them. Just overspend. So I am 100% go Dodgers. I'm all the way Dodgers. Me and Vishanti, super synchronicity here. If the Yankees lose 4-0, that would be perfect. I would love it. Fuck the Yankees. Yeah.
But Yankee Stadium's great.
Yeah, whatever.
Scotty Orange for $10. Thank you so much, Scotty Orange. Do you have any ghost jokes? Canadian ghost jokes?
Well, I don't know what a Canadian ghost joke is.
That's a very specific genre.
I have ghost jokes. All of the ghost jokes I know are pretty bad. They're pretty bad puns. But, I can throw out some ghost jokes at the end of the show. It's not the end of the show yet. Don't rush us, Scotty Orange.
Well, we appreciate the super chat though, and we will do our best.
Yeah, Scotty's been a long time fan of the show, supporter of the show, big fan. Is this working? Probably not for me.
Not for you. Maybe for me.
Whatever.
I don't know if it's drunk or what's happening. Oh, there we go.
There it is. Yeah, good. It used to work for me. I used to be able to do the heart. My hands are very whatever. Look, just everything's stupid. That's fair, Scotty. You didn't ask for good jokes. I'll give you a ghost joke. I'll give you a ghost joke at the end of the show. I promise. Yep.
I'm asking artificial intelligence to come up with a Canadian ghost joke, and even it's struggling.
It's struggling. Get ChatGPT to create. I save it, Paul. I would love to hear you tell a joke at the end of the show.
You can't just spring that on me now. For a future episode.
You got like a half hour left. You got time. You got time to get ChatGPT to write you a joke.
What did the Canadian ghost say at the hockey game?
I don't know, Paul. What did the Canadian ghost say at the hockey game?
Let's get ready to boo. That's awful.
I don't get
it. Well, because ghosts say boo, and people at hockey games say boo.
I guess, but they don't. But okay.
Oh, I know. It's not good. It's not good.
Give me another one. Throw another one out there.
So this one's makes even less sense. Why did the ghost go to Canada?
I don't know, Paul. Why did the ghost go to Canada?
Because it wanted to get its boo in the Great White North.
Holy fuck, that's terrible. That is a terrible joke.
Right?
You're just throwing keywords together.
Yeah. Right?
No kind of.
These are not good.
I've actually played around with in all my experience. ChatGPT is very bad at writing jokes. That is That is where currently the writers that have no fear from AI is
right.
Comedy writers, because AI is very, very bad at writing comedy. It just doesn't.
Well, it usually can come up with puns.
Something. Puns are fine, but yeah, I've had AI try a number of times to write Shaggy Dog Story, like long form jokes. Bad.
Oh yeah,
no. Every one of them is terrible. It's like this isn't remotely funny at all. There's no joke here. There's no pun. There's no anything. Yeah, you're just throwing words at me.
All right. Well, I feel like while I'm doing this, we should just let the ghost callers talk.
Let's start talk.
Halfway through the seance, I kept hearing strange noises, and we were sitting in his basement, and they just kept going, shh, stop making noises. And I was like, well, it's not me. They're like, yeah, sure, just shut up. We're trying to get a hold of this ghost. And all of a sudden, something made me look off in the corner. He had an old TV that his dad was going to throw out sitting in the corner. Well, when I looked, I noticed it started to glow. Mm-hmm. And after a few minutes, it just exploded.
The television exploded?
Yes.
the whole screen blew out, and what did it for me was the fact it was unplugged. Like the thing is, the TV was unplugged. When I looked on top of it, I saw other people have called in before about it, seeing the dark man.
The dark man?
Yes, I saw a dark. I could tell it was a man. He was sitting cross-legged on the TV, wearing a long coat. He just looked at me, smiled, nodded, stood up, and disappeared.
Your internet bits are degrading, Dave.
Are they? Am I falling apart? It's not going well?
You got to stop, downloading whatever you're doing over there.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah. All my not torrenting any streams or yeah. Well, hopefully pulls around.
I'd be out of there so fast.
Well, the thing is, no one else saw it but me. They
Well, I mean, yeah, but what about the television? You said the television.
Oh, they also saw the TV explode. His mom came downstairs yelling what happened, and we were just nothing. Like, I couldn't tell her. Well, there was someone on top of the TV made it blow up.
Mm-hmm. First of all, a television under no circumstance sitting there sedentary, not plugged in. Televisions do not explode. Period.
Oh, I know that.
Even plugged in ones. That'd be it for me.
I mean, televisions, I feel like the CRTs can kind of pop. I've seen them pop. Like they don't explode per se, like sending shards of glass. Or maybe they do. I don't know.
I mean, if you fuck with capacitors, they can. But normally, no. Normally, no.
What's a ghost's favorite Canadian snack, Dave?
Oh my god. What's a ghost's favorite Canadian snack? I don't know, Paul. What is a ghost's favorite Canadian snack?
Spookteen.
Holy shit, that's terrible. That's terrible. It's not even especially okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's what we got.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like for me, you'd think you'd be scared, but I was just looking at it, going, "Okay, that was odd." And I mean, since that day, I've seen the same dark man every so often out of the corner of my eye, or it's almost like he's watching.
Maybe he's waiting for you.
Well, that's what I think, because like ever since then, I've seen him, and if I don't see him, I'll hear him call my name.
Yes.
And the thing is, it's loud and clear. Other people have heard it, and we can be in an empty hallway, and we'll hear my name clear.
Maybe one day when he calls your name, you will go with him.
Oh, that's what I thought. And the thing is, though, like I said, I'm not afraid of it. It's almost like he's there protecting me for something.
Maybe.
Nate, hold on. Nate's got it. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah.
It should have been Bootine.
I mean, that's better. That's better.
Bootine at least rhymes with poutine.
At least, yeah. It's better than Spookteen, which doesn't really, it's not even a good pun.
No, Bootine is at least all right.
Do you want a Halloween pun, Paul?
I do.
For Ghost? How did Ebenezer Scrooge end up with the football?
I give up. How did Ebenezer
The Ghost of Christmas Past. That's see, there's so many.
That's pretty good.
So many you can do. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Why does the ghost comedian keep going to open mic nights?
Why?
For the booze, Paul. For the booze.
The booze. Yeah. Oh, see?
Yeah.
Those are better. Those are so much better.
Yeah.
Be afraid.
Well, everyone says that, but I don't know. Like I said, it's just something about him doesn't seem to be scary.
Uh-huh.
He just seems to be there. He doesn't seem to be presenting any harm to me.
Uh-huh. I mean, you've got to consider that he's there for a reason.
Oh, that I'm pretty sure of. I mean, it was since that day I started.
Hey, Paul, what's a ghost's favorite part of Thanksgiving dinner? I just thought of this. A joke.
I don't know, Nate. What's the ghost favorite part of Thanksgiving dinner?
Gravy. I don't know. All right.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Not bad. We'll workshop it.
Also, it kind of works in with today's sponsor.
Congratulations, Tombs.
Yep.
You want those free pit traps? Sign up today.
Other ghosts as well, so.
I understand. All right. Well, I appreciate your call. I'm a little hesitant to suggest to you that you may be associating with somebody who is going to take you from where you are now to where you will eventually be. Wildcard line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art.
Hey,
This is
Paul.
Alan in Toronto.
Paul.
Yes,
Paul.
yes, Dave.
Hey, Paul. Why do so many pandas become ghosts?
Why? I don't know, Dave. Why do so many pandas become ghosts?
Because they love bamboo. All right, I'll stop. I don't know.
We're good.
We're good. I'm just making up shitty ghost jokes now.
Here in Pahrump.
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Look, the point is, I'm super drunk and I'm coming up with better jokes than AI could make about ghosts. That's
right.
You know,
You absolutely are. Now, granted, it has the constraint of it's supposed to be Canadian themed as well.
I
And
haven't come up with any Canadian.
It doesn't seem to
ghost
actually know a lot about Canada.
I don't really know what would make a Canadian ghost joke. You know, like I can't think of anything. I got nothing for that. So, to be fair, I'm not better than AI when it comes to Canadian ghost jokes.
Well, yeah, but you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Almost neighbor.
So here, give it a try, Paul. Let's take away the Canadian constraint.
Okay.
Can AI come up with a better ghost joke than why do so many pandas become jokes? Become ghosts. The Dave ghost special.
All right.
I guess. Before I start my story, I had to chuckle when I don't remember. I guess it was a letter you read or a fax about someone from Canada and the cat story.
Oh yes.
You might want to mention to the listeners about the fire we had here last week, and they pulled out, what was it, about 104 cats that were dead out of the home. I don't know if you read that in the newspaper.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, it was
That's more than 20.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of street does a ghost live on, Dave?
I don't know.
A dead end.
Okay. Yeah.
pretty gruesome.
Pretty horrible, yes. Pahrump is a strange place in so many ways. Are you outside?
Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I'm on the porch.
Not mine, I presume.
Well, I'm not exactly sure where you live. No, my wife says I talk loud, and I didn't want to wake the kids up.
Oh, I see. So you're outside. And we're getting a little bit of wind tonight. It looks like we're going to get some rain, huh?
It sprinkled a little bit and chased me in earlier.
Actually, you know, it's kind of a spooky night out here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's overcast. It has been all day, but not quite this bad.
All right, listen, I'm at a break point, so I'm going to hold you over, and since you're in Pahrump, obviously, there is no charge.
Okay.
So stay right where you are.
What's a vampire's favorite fruit, Dave?
Blood orange? I don't know.
A nectarine?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Why don't mummies have friends?
I don't know.
They're too wrapped up in themselves.
They're too wrapped up in themselves. That's yeah, very good. Very good.
See?
Very good.
It could, you know, it's the Canadian part that is apparently a problem.
Yep. Absolutely.
What room do ghosts avoid?
I don't know.
The living room.
Good job.
See?
Yeah. Yeah.
See? It's that We just Canadians aren't, stereotypically funny.
I got one for you, Paul. Where do Canadian ghosts go on holiday? Where do Canadian ghosts like to fish? That's better. Where do Canadian ghosts
where
like
can
to
you
fish?
I give up, Dave. Where do they like to
Lake
fish?
Erie.
Lake
Huh?
Erie. Ooh, very good.
I'm trying to shoehorn the Canadian. That's not a great joke.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, we're ready for pass the
That's the
break.
Wreck-It Ralph Fitzgerald. Axel. Sorry. Yep. Was the song about an iron shipment being like Erie or something? Yeah, it's the Wreck. Yeah, Emmett Fitzgerald. Every Canadian knows it. Well, every Canadian who's 40 years old or older.
Stories this night, and that's all we're doing. If you wish, call it Ghost to Ghost. We have a lot of documented ghost photographs. By the way, you should see the one on my website now from 1906. Here in the desert, when the clouds and the wind and the rain come, it's very eerie indeed. And here is my caller again. Out on his porch still?
Yes, I am.
Uh-huh.
After a quick turkey break.
All right, sir. From here in Erie, Pahrump, what have you?
Well, back in 1983, I was a young married father, and I took my wife and little baby. We moved to California to Long Beach. I had a rather low-paying job, and I had an uncle that offered us an apartment in his apartment building if we managed it, so it was for free. It was a little one-bedroom apartment, and we were so poor we didn't own a bed yet. So we had a fold-out couch. So we put the baby in his crib in the one bedroom, and we slept out on the couch until we could get a bed. Every night, usually about 9 or 10 o'clock, the baby would wake up just screaming, hysterical. We'd bring him out. As soon as we brought him out, he would calm down and go to sleep. And it got to the point for about a month where we wound up having him sleep with us every night. We finally got a bed, excuse me, and switched rooms. We put him out in the front room in his crib, and we slept in the bedroom.
Sure.
I guess it was about a month or so went by. One night I was sleeping, and I started having this weird dream that turned really scary. Now, as I was growing up, there was a period where when I was a young kid, I had scary dreams all the time, and I guess out of necessity, I taught myself to wake up when a dream got too scary. Now, this happened to me. I woke up, I was laying face down on my waterbed, and something had a hand in the middle of my back and had a hand on the back of my head and was shoving me down into the water, into the pillow. And I couldn't.
That doesn't need to be a ghost.
No, not even at all.
It's just
just a scary dream.
A mean sibling.
People have scary dreams. It's just a thing that happens.
Breathe. I opened my mouth to talk, to call for help to my wife.
Yes.
And whatever it was, it bound my tongue. I couldn't talk. All that was coming out was a bunch of gibberish. So I was struggling back and forth, and whatever it was incredibly strong and shoving me down into this waterbed. And I figured, well, if I wiggle back and forth enough, I'll wake my wife up. Well, she woke up and she says, my gosh, what's going on? And she flipped on the light. And as soon as she turned on the light, whatever it was released me. And I looked up at her and she looked at me and she says, oh my gosh, what happened? I feel this. She described that the room felt like it was just filled with hate. And I explained to her what had happened, and it was just, I didn't sleep very much that night.
Oh, thanks a lot. I've got a waterbed, and up until now, I've loved it.
Well,
I can only imagine that. That was a.
Yes.
I'm laughing at the Ronin super chat.
All right, we have a super chat. You can read it.
Baby didn't sleep through the night. Ghost confirmed. Yeah, there's a lot of fucking ghosts going around.
This is pretty sketchy. Yep.
Yeah. The only possible explanation for a baby waking up at 2 a.m. is a ghost. Yep.
We haven't even used this view yet here tonight. Let's see what we got.
Ooh. What's Canadian ghost's favorite food? What?
It's the same joke. Poutine. This is
I
on.
I was looking at the nom nom nom. I'm like, that's not even a joke.
This is literally CBC. This is our national. This is our national.
This is our government
broadcaster.
sponsored.
They came up with poutine.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
So,
I mean, it's better than Spooky Teen.
Yeah. So I'm just saying
Yeah.
Maybe just there aren't Canadian ghost jokes.
I mean, there kind of aren't, because there aren't really like super famous Canadian ghost stories that I know of.
Yeah.
The Banff Hotel apparently has like a famous ghost.
Oh, for sure, but it's not. I can't.
Yeah. Do Canadian Owls drink whiskey? You bet their fucking ass they do, Scotty. Yeah.
Me and my family stayed at the Banff Hotel on October 31st in 2020.
Did you see a ghost?
And that was literally was a thing that they were trying to push, that but maybe we might, but no, we didn't.
It's a nice hotel though. I've been
It
to
is
Banff
nice hotel.
It is
Yep.
very nice. Yeah.
Attempted murder. Well, let me finish the story, and it gets even.
Just saying. The shrimp scampi, fantastic.
Mm.
Just don't know about
creepier.
the ghost.
We said a couple of quick prayers, and the room still felt creepy. We didn't sleep much that night. I was also working for my uncle, so the next day I told him what had happened, and he kind of scoffed at it. He goes, "Oh yeah, right. I've never had anyone else complain about living in that apartment." And I said, "Well, I wonder what happened." And then he got kind of serious for a minute, and he goes, "Well, there's something I didn't want to tell you." He said, "A year before you and your wife moved in, we had a couple that lived there, and the man, and he wound up getting murdered in that room. Somebody came in and busted in and shot him with a shotgun." God. And I said, "And you're trying to tell me you don't believe, what I'm telling you? You think it's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo?" And he really didn't say much after that. And that's basically my story. Up until then, of course, I never believed in ghosts. And after that, I've been.
That's enough for me, sir.
I've been converted.
That's tenuous as fuck. That's not.
Paul, I don't know what you're talking. Look, if you're going to demand like photographic evidence, it's not going to happen. You need to be a little more. Okay, you need to be more willing to accept planes of reality, spheres of existence.
So you're trying to tell me that the murder victim, in that room, from that room, is gonna like push you down in the bed?
Yeah.
That's what they want to do. That's what
Yeah. Because I mean, like he's been stuck in that room for like 18 years, Paul. So he wants to bugger you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. He's bored. He's bored as fuck. He's been stuck in this room for like 18 years.
Well, that was what I was getting at with the guy who got.
To do. He can't turn on the TV, Paul. So he's just sitting there waiting. How many times do you read that?
You got to do foreplay, like that other guy was getting poked in the ribs by his dad.
Got time for foreplay.
His father-in-law poking him in the ribs for whatever
We're
reason.
moving right on. Yeah, no, push you down the mattress. This is, think warm thoughts and think of England. This is it. We're moving on. Yeah.
So Dave,
like I don't encourage what he's doing, but I can, you've been stuck in this room for like 20, 15 years, whatever. It's like, yeah, I get it. You're pretty bored. It's time.
Well, probably I'm horny, probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It doesn't make it okay, but What's a Canadian ghost's favorite snack, Dave?
I mean, poutine.
Iced scream.
Ice cream. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why the word Canadian is in that joke.
Doesn't have to be.
Now I've been looking up like actual humans who have written these jokes.
Written Canadian ghost jokes.
And they're even worse. So
yeah. Do you want to see the AI ghost joke that I had come up?
All right.
Where does a ghost like to party, Paul?
I give up, Dave.
Anywhere he can party. Thanks, AI. Good joke.
Which speaks much to what you were just saying was that they're trapped in the room.
Yeah.
That's the only place they can party. They're locked. I was murdered here. What am I going to do? Be a downer?
Yeah.
We're going to party.
Anywhere I can party. Just because most of the time there's nothing happening in this room. Just some guy who's here for a dental conference for one night and then he leaves. That's it. That's all I got.
I appreciate the call on the dark, rainy night. You bet. Take care. That was attempted murder. That was attempted murder. Can you imagine having that happen to you? A presence that you can't possibly fight, pressing you down into the bed, pressing your tongue.
He didn't say you couldn't possibly fight it. He just said someone was pushing on his back.
Yeah. I mean, I could possibly fight, but I'm not gonna. Just
I mean, it's a nice back rub, really.
Yeah, this is fine. This is
like
kind of what I'm into. Just go nuts.
Yep. If suddenly my back is getting massaged, I'm not going to ask a lot of questions. If they're keeping it, if they're keeping it above the belt line, it's not a,
or whatever.
You cannot speak. Your head, your back into the bed. No, thank you. Good morning. You're on Ghost to Ghost AM. I'm Art Bell. Where are you, please?
I'm in Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, I'm listening to you on the net.
Okay.
My story goes back to when I joined the Navy. I joined in 1980 as a nuclear power electrician and got assigned to the USS Enterprise in 1982.
Oh, the Enterprise.
Right. And biggest nuclear power carrier in the world. She will not fit through the Panama Canal. She has to go all the way around.
I believe that. I went through the Panama Canal myself on a large cruise liner, and as we went through, we scraped the sides of the ship, so it was that close.
Well, it has to do with ghosts that have been there for quite some time. They've been there for a very long time. The refit took 3 years before I even got to the ship. They took the superstructure off, put a new one on, and I was just getting to the boat as she came out of her refit. And so these guys who assigned watches were telling me, do you want a mid-watch and 5 and 6 switchgear? And I said, I don't know. And they said, well, there's a ghost.
Well, I'm not a Navy guy. 5 and 6 switchgear, what's that?
That's where the 5 and 6 switchgear is where the controls for the ship service turbine generators are for paralleling and taking up and down.
Generators, okay.
Okay. And so I didn't really much believe him, and he gave me a mid-watch. And I stood a mid-watch on 5 and 6 switchgear and heard somebody roaming around in the back room, because what we had in one switchgear, we had our little office where we had our morning meetings, and we had our gear pullers and our electrical equipment in there, and it sounded like someone opening, closing drawers and moving around. And I walk in there, and there's only one way in and out, one door, and you can see it from the switchgear where you're at. And I open the door, and there's nobody in there. And I thought, well, maybe somebody's messing with me, but there was never anybody in that switchgear. And then I come to find out there was another ghost haunting number 2 and 3 switchgear. And by the way, if there's any listeners who were on the Enterprise who were in EE30, Electrical Engineering Group 30, they can verify this. And 2 and 3 switchgear, there was also a ghost. Now, from what I was told, these guys who were haunting had been vaporized by opening disconnects when they were fully energized. And what that had done is it drew an arc and created a fireball and vaporized him and the switchgear around him. It just vaporized everything it touched. And so these people were instantly turned into gas.
Cinder.
Right. And the 1 and 2 and 3 switchgear was more prevalent. One guy told me, he says, you can't sleep in 2 and 3 switchgear because he'll keep you awake.
This is very common. When people die that way, completely, unexpectedly, instantly, tragically, that's when they seem to remain.
And the thing was, he was like a guardian. You know what I mean? He was making sure that the guys didn't fall asleep on watch, because he'd do something to you. Now, I was just, I was wondering about the 1, 2, and 3 because I hadn't ever seen it. So I decided to play a trick, and I decided to pretend I was nodding off. And it felt like someone grabbed the back of my head, my hair, and yanked my head and jerked it to wake me up. And I was like, man, and that just, sends a shiver up your spine.
I take it you stayed awake on future watches.
Yes. It was really, really something.
And you're telling me that anybody who was on the Enterprise, EE-30 that time, could verify this?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. There's absolutely...
Anyone on the ship could guarantee that you got your hair pulled?
Yeah, the thousands of people
Yeah.
on the Enterprise.
You and I have been on an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're very large.
Very large.
I don't think that if someone got their hair pulled by any means, that you could get anyone on the ship, that everyone on the ship could verify that. That doesn't seem,
but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that maybe everybody in like the power whatever station he works, maybe they'll all verify that, like,
maybe they can all verify, well, he's a whiny bitch and complains about things.
Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah.
Not a lot of Marines are calling into shows to tell us the story about how they got their hair pulled.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The harrowing tale.
Anybody who's ever in San Diego, highly recommend doing the I can't remember the name of the carrier that's there. Do you remember, Paul?
Oh boy. No, I don't remember. Is it Freedom? Is it? I forget.
No.
It
might be Enterprise.
Maybe.
But you should definitely do the aircraft carrier tour.
Yeah, that was great.
Harbor. I've done it twice. Loved it both times. It's fascinating. It's fantastic. Yeah, one of my favorite experiences in my life.
All right, I'm not feeling like these ghost stories are getting better, Dave.
No, this is pretty lame. This is a pretty lame ghost to ghost. So Midway. Yes. Good job, Mo. It's the Midway.
That's correct. Midway. Yes, very good.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like this is a good point to just wrap up the show, Dave.
I think that's probably a good idea. It's probably like 7 in the morning where you are.
Indeed. My drink is nearly done.
Mine's done now.
All right. Well, I think we've also made our attempts at various jokes.
Yeah.
So
should I tell a joke to end us up?
Oh, do you have one? That would be great.
Okay, so we've done a bunch of Halloween jokes. I had a bunch of Halloween jokes ready, but I'll just tell a joke, just a non-Halloween joke. Okay. So I went to the grocery store the other day, Paul.
Yes, Dave.
It's just me. So I got a half dozen eggs and 2 apples and a banana. That's all I needed. And I went up to the cashier, put the items on there and the belt and bring it up. And there was a young, attractive girl at the cashier. And she's bringing through my half dozen eggs, my 2 apples, my banana. She's like, "Oh, well, you must be single."
Oh.
And I said, "Oh, you can tell from my groceries?" I'm like, as there's not a lot of food here, I can understand. She's like, "No, you're fucking fat and ugly." Like that one?
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that one. That was comedy is about being unexpected, and that was definitely not where I saw that one going.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Good job, Dave.
Good job, everybody.
Good job, everybody.
Good
God
job.
bless us, everyone.
God bless us, everyone. Yeah.
I've already forgotten who won the tumbler, but send me an email.
Yep. Was Peggy Jace, I want to say.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Peggy Jace or something like that. All right. Thank you so much for everyone for the glorious return of Toast to Toast. We promise we will try and do more.
Probably not in 2 weeks, but
probably we'll see.
Sooner or later,
we'll be back in a groove. After that, it's just gonna be winter here in Canada. And what else are we gonna do?
Absolutely, it gets really fucking cold. Like,
indeed,
so cold. Indeed. You do not understand. You poor sweet summer children. You do not understand how cold it gets here. So cold.
Right. Thank
probably
you so
gonna
much.
Be like 2 or 3 hurricanes, olives. Yeah.
Night. Talk soon.
Good night. And that's the end of our show. No.
as I wait for myself to do my signal so that I know when to end the stream.
Not next Friday. No, Quasimodo. No.